Happy Wednesday, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3, The Fan. I am doing my very best to get my head right this morning, certainly. Tell you guys in a moment what I woke up to at 2 a.m. Basically a dress rehearsal for next week at the exact same time. It's exactly what I'm going to do next week. Waking up in the Rambler Motel next to 7 Mile Casino for the watch party. 2 a.m., shower, and head on over for the Padres Dodgers. So kind of ran through it today, and here we are at 6 a.m. I feel like death. So adds 2 cups of coffee in, too. So next week should be really super fun. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Good morning, Pauley.
Good morning.
And Benjamin Higgins is your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Good morning, Benjamin.
That's right. 1 week from this morning.
That's right.
We will not be on the air likely at this moment
Correct.
unless it's the fastest game in history.
Which it could be.
We may be in the 9th inning. We may be in the 7th inning. We may be in Sammy's post-game show. But we will be waiting to go on the air from our watch party at 7 Mile Casino after the first Padres game of the season.
Yeah, I woke up this morning at 2. It was not a planned dress rehearsal. It was just happened. I woke up, and as we all do, I reached for my phone to make sure, nothing happened overnight that I needed to see. And I woke up to a video of Aroldis Chapman rubbing his mother's cans. And it messed me up and ruined my day. And yet I've still watched it, 40 times because I couldn't believe what I've seen. It was like one of the first things on my timeline. It was Aroldis Chapman lying on the couch, his mother next to him, and him rubbing her cans. Her
beautiful, gorgeous cans.
It wasn't like a security video or like someone through a window. Like
no.
Someone was there. And
yeah,
they were acting very normal. Like this was a very normal thing.
Somebody, it was like, hey, grab my phone and get this video of me rubbing my mother's hooters on the couch. Now, you said, what's that drop you just played, Pauley?
Boobs.
No, the one that you just played.
Beautiful, gorgeous cans.
So
it's in our anatomy region, I believe, today, isn't it?
I'm going to disagree.
Maybe he was just
with that
participating in a little
Hooter research.
Potentially, but I would bet money that they're not, what is it, beautiful, gorgeous cans?
Beautiful, gorgeous cans.
My guess is that they're not something that you would want to see or touch, especially if you're related to her.
Boobs.
So I woke up to that this morning. It was posted on his Instagram. He didn't get hacked or something. Like, it was on there like, I'm proud of this. I'm rubbing my mother's tees on this couch. And it messed me up, and I just went, I can't go back. How am I supposed to go back to sleep now? I may never sleep again for fear of the nightmares.
It's weird.
It's
you start life, and it's very appropriate,
of course.
But then it becomes inappropriate at some point. And I believe Aroldis Chapman has
crossed the
passed
line.
that point. Not sure exactly where, but yeah, probably has passed that point. I didn't see any of this until Woodsy just showed me before the program, so I'm still trying to come to grips with it. You've had a little more time.
The video, yeah. Somebody
is that why he ended up? Where did he go? Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Is that why he didn't get more of a contender interested in his services?
I don't know. He's had some issues in the past as well, but this one really got me. It really, really got me. There's nothing that makes no sense. I don't understand.
I mean, it's.
He's like massaging.
Kisses them.
Do you expect like the commissioner to come down with some sort of?
I don't know what
or something for this. I just don't know.
No, I don't. I just feel like he's
just weirded out by it.
He's gonna walk in the clubhouse today, and the guys are gonna be like, "Bro, don't touch me. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. I hate that you're on this
Which
team."
may be how they was already.
I have no idea.
In Pittsburgh, I have no idea.
I don't understand what I saw, and that's
beautiful, gorgeous cans.
It's stop with the drop.
It's what I want to be associated. It's what I woke up to.
I don't want to be associated with this story. Can you please just stop with the drops?
Now that's funny because I told Paul to get every boob drop that we have,
and he's played them
ready to go.
Hooter research.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
Boobs.
I just don't understand it. And it's actually one of those things that even if you explained it to me, I'm still not going to understand what the reasoning is.
Hooters.
And he's smiling. He's got this big old S-eating grin on his face, and he's like, it's so weird, man. It's so weird.
I feel sorry for the The
The mother. Yeah, I do too.
The
I
reporters also that cover the Pirates at spring training. Who
like
are
the Ben and Woods of
We're
Pittsburgh.
going to have to now go and ask very, very awkward questions in today's scrum.
Spring training Stevie over there for whatever the morning show is in
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
The Ben and Woods of Pittsburgh this morning are going, all right, so how do you guys want to cover this?
Derek Shelton, can you comment on today's Instagram post?
So I was so weirded out by it when I saw it this morning, and I just went, oh, no. Why? Why? We are in the weirdest, it's like a simulation. I'm convinced we're in a simulation, like the Truman Show, maybe. Like I saw Aaron Rodgers is running for vice president now, and I saw that Nick Saban doesn't like money, and he's made $150 million, but money is the root of all evil in college football. We're in a simulation.
Do you ever wonder that? I mean, I know
Yes.
I don't, but occasionally.
No, I do.
Can you prove that you're not the only real person and everyone else is just around here as like side characters in your story?
I'm not that interesting. So I always feel like they wouldn't pick me to be like Truman of the Truman Show. I'm not that interesting. But I just...
Truman wasn't that interesting either.
No, he was really quite boring.
He was.
He was. People loved him, though. You're more like Truman than I am. Like, you have more of the, like, personalities of Truman. But
I feel like if anyone in this crew is in the Truman Show, it's got to be me.
I feel like that could be it.
Yeah.
But I'm promising you, I'm not a paid actor. I mean, I'm paid for my services here, but I'm not acting. I'm genuinely weirded out. I genuinely can't believe the headlines that I see on a daily basis. I can't believe it. I go, well, I thought I'd seen the weirdest. I thought we'd hit a boiling point. No, we are boiling. It's over. It's spilling over the top now with Aroldis Chapman rubbing his mother's breasts this morning. Yeah, don't watch the video. I mean, people are saying, like, I don't want to watch this. Don't. I just told you exactly what
She's clothed.
She's clothed.
Yeah.
That would be, I mean, that would have, I couldn't have made it in. But
They just look like they're on the couch watching TV or something.
They are watching TV,
Yeah.
but who's filming? And why post it? And hey,
Why do it?
Pauley, grab the phone real quick. Watch this. And I'm going to rub my mom's boobs. With the grin, too.
Why do it? Why allow it?
The
Why
grin
post
is
it?
what... Oh, did he kiss him, too?
Yes, I told you that. He was, there was...
Like, he leaned down and...
And we know for sure that that's his mother.
Yeah.
Like a newborn babe. I thought you knew that.
I did not know that. Now it made it even worse. Oh, I didn't get that far. Somebody just said it's at the end. I didn't get that far.
Oh, yeah.
I'd seen
I
enough.
didn't get to the end either.
I didn't need to get to...
Did not need to get to the end.
No. I don't...
You're going to watch it live on the air.
I'm not watching
you
it
are.
on the air.
Do
I'm
it.
not. I can't. I've seen it 40 times. I never got to the end.
Apparently missed the end. Or I just DM'd it to you
I'm
on
with the
Instagram.
chat. Why are we still talking about this? I'm not a fan of today's foreplay.
What else are we going to talk about? That's literally foreplay. But it's with his mother. But it's literally foreplay. Yeah, it's called foreplay for a reason. That's actually...
It's really not.
That's one of my favorite parts of foreplay is doing exactly that. Not to my mom. Not to my mom. Do not put it in the chat. I swear to God. I cannot watch him.
I'm not putting it in the chat.
Okay. All right. I don't want to watch it. All right. So I don't know really how to move on from that. I did feel a little bit yesterday. You know, I told you a couple weeks ago, like, I'm online too much. Like, yesterday was one of those days where I went, all right, I'm inundated with the Aaron Rodgers thing, with the Nick Saban thing, Nick Saban's wife thing, all of it. I just went, I'm too online. I need to touch grass. I need to do something that's not online because I've seen enough for the day. My BS meter is pinged all the way to the end. It's just buried. It's buried. The RPMs are way, way up. And then I woke up to that this morning. And now, here's the worst part. I got to see how this ends. I got to see, like you said, somebody ask Derek Shelton about it. Or maybe the owner, Bob Nutting. I have to know. All right, let me ask you this question. Is it possible that they're in his culture that this is okay?
Yeah.
He's Cuban,
Maybe.
right?
That was my first thought, honestly. Was are we going to be the three white guys coming in and questioning
And ripping on someone's culture. I don't want to be that.
Is it culturally acceptable?
I'm 48.
But it was
I feel like I would have known about that part of Cuban culture.
like, remember a couple years ago, Tom Brady kissed his child on the lips,
and it was the
people
weirdest
lost
thing
their
ever. I
minds.
kiss both of my children still to
People
this day.
lost their minds.
I always defended him for that. I always defended him.
But he's like really going to town on his mother's.
Yeah, this is more than a grace.
Breasts.
This is like a,
He's not even just like laying
on
her,
them. Yes.
on her chest. He's like rubbing them.
Miley says it's not part of the culture.
Kissing
I didn't
them.
think that it was. I feel like I would have heard like, oh, bro, this is what they do.
As a Hispanic, absolutely not.
Like, yeah, I mean, I thought that Tom Brady thing was overblown. I don't think this is overblown. I don't think this could be blown enough. It's not overblown.
A lot of people are saying,
wanna
no,
change
this
the
is not a cultural
I really
thing.
want to change the subject, and I don't know where to go.
I don't either. I really don't.
It's National Baked Scallops Day.
You like scallops out there? I'm
Do we
going.
have any thoughts
I have
on baked scallops
I have
this
a lunch
morning?
today, a working lunch with a client
Somewhere where you can order scallops?
at Poseidon.
Okay, perfect. Baked Scallops Day it is.
Do you think they'll have a baked scallop special? I like scallops a lot. I do. If they're done,
I like them seared in a
Yeah,
pan.
seared.
more
I
than
don't know that I
baked,
like them
though.
baked.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that I've ever actually had a baked scallop.
Some scallops.
There we go. Changing the subject. I like that. Why don't we get going here today? Because there are some
I'm
topics.
having a hard time getting ramped up.
I
I'm
can
telling
see
you
that
right
I can
now.
see that. There are some topics, some trade, at least adjacent rumors that were going on with the San Diego Padres, Chicago White Sox last night. We will definitely be talking about that. The final decisions, as Mike Schultz said yesterday, they were in yesterday. If you are going to Korea, you know you are going to Korea this morning. The 31 traveling party of the San Diego Padres. We don't know exactly who it is, but they know who it is, and I assume we'll be told later this morning what that looks like as the Padres get ready to depart from Peoria, Arizona, and fly across the Pacific Ocean for the season opener. We'll hand out the menus, get you ready for Ben and Woods on a Wednesday morning when we come back. Kelly's got traffic, and here we go. Changing the subject on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. If you watch on our YouTube stream, you'll see the videos that Paul includes during our breaks. And in this last one, we just saw last year's opening day party downtown with a live appearance from Jake Peavy. And I think you, Woods, owe Jake Peavy an apology.
Oh, because of yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday, Woods tweeted that nothing good has ever come from Mobile, Alabama. And I thought that was not fair because Jake Peavy came from Mobile, Alabama.
But he's
definitely something good.
He's a person.
He's a person.
The segment of the Crichton Leprechaun is the only good thing.
That was the only good thing that you liked from Mobile.
That's the only good thing that's come out of Mobile. Jake Peavy came out of Mobile, but he's a person. The Crichton Leprechaun is not a person. It's a news segment.
Well, it depends on your perspective.
Well, because I had...
It might be a crackhead.
It could be a crackhead. There was some hillbilly that tweeted, "Why would anyone live in California?" And I looked
It look like a leprechaun to me.
and I looked at his thing,
Could be a crackhead.
and I looked at his thing, and he's in Mobile, Alabama. Why would anyone live in California? He's tweeting it from Mobile. So I took offense to that from a guy named
I saw that.
Bradley Flowers.
They just want engagement.
Good. I'm
post
happy
that
to give it to him.
because they make money out of that, and I
Fine.
feel like you're
He's in Mobile.
giving him exactly what he
Good.
wants.
He's in Mobile, Alabama. And then there's people in the timeline going, "I would never even visit." Good. We're good here. The less Mobilians here, the better I think we are. I think I've officially become a Californian.
You're
now.
anti-mobility.
I'm anti-Mobilians coming here. Don't even come to visit. We're good. We don't need you here. There's plenty of
Except for Jake Peavy.
Except for Jake Peavy. Yeah. Jake Peavy's the only one. And Jake Peavy knows. He knows the deal. Like he likes California. But no, yeah. So that to me, Mobile, Alabama, best thing, only good thing to come out of there is that news segment, which you'll hear about
It's like Monday, isn't it?
is it Monday?
Yeah.
It's on Sunday, but you'll hear it on Monday because we don't work.
It's a St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day.
That's right. It's right around the corner.
It's the
here.
best thing that ever happened on the news.
To me, it look like a leprechaun to me.
That's right.
All I gotta do is look up in the tree. Who else in the leprechaun say yeah?
Yeah. The amateur sketch. I mean, there's nothing better. There's nothing better. Oh, Holy Night at Christmas and the Leprechaun. I will never tire of it, ever.
No, I'm
Mobile.
just smiling thinking about it now.
Some guy living in the swamp. It's like a swamp in Mobile. He's like, "Well, why would you live in California?" Like, did you guys go outside yesterday? It was fantastic.
Beautiful.
It was absolutely gorgeous. You know what it's going to be today? It's going to be gorgeous today. It's expensive to live here.
I mean, I'll throw out.
But you get what you pay
even
for.
on that tweet, and he was listing all the taxes, and we do pay taxes here, obviously, but most of them were federal taxes that they also pay in Alabama.
They also
as
pay in
well,
Alabama.
By the way, just to be clear.
But they have to live in Alabama.
Right.
That's the thing.
All right, let's
California with their Social Security.
Right, exactly.
Medicare, federal income tax.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, just like you have in Alabama, right?
Mobile.
All
Like
those-
if you're tweeting that and you live in, I mean, I don't even know. Like, there's just nothing better than this place for me. It's hard
If
to.
you live in Honolulu, fine, whatever.
Right.
I mean,
Fine. But, like, from Mobile, why would anybody live in California? Because you're not here, number one. There's very few of guys like yourself here. It just didn't make sense to me. So I was having some fun with them.
we're going to jump into some Padres talk this morning. Had a game against the Diamondbacks yesterday. Drew Thorpe on the mound. Jackson Merrill continuing to do, guess we'll just call them Jackson Merrill things at this point. And Mike Schilt giving a strong indication as to what lies in the future for one Jackson Merrill heading to Korea today. We'll talk about that coming up. Did have a Ken Rosenthal piece that came out last night that wasn't specifically about the Padres. It was about the White Sox and their renewed efforts to trade pitcher Dylan Cease, who has a couple of years remaining of team control and is a former Cy Young runner-up from 2022. Didn't have a great season last year, but remains a fairly electric arm that teams are interested in. And the White Sox apparently are scouting the Padres heavily, which would make you at least think that there's been some sort of talk or negotiations or discussions involving A.J. Preller and the White Sox. Padres certainly could use, I think, a little more pitching. Well, who can't use a little more pitching at this point? So would you be willing or interested in parting with some of your top prospects what it would take to get a frontline type starter for the Padres in Dylan Cease. We will discuss that for sure. We had some incredible audio yesterday from Padres spring training that we're going to bring you on our 7 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
It's been a great week.
Our new manager, Mike Schilt, who, of course, if you heard our show yesterday, will be appearing with us every Friday morning at 9 a.m. on the Manager's Report, brought to you by SDCCU. He's a gem, isn't he? He's just a gem.
A gem. Straight up.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that. So we'll have some audio from Mike Schilt coming up at 7. Our regular segments, Take on Woods and Don't Do This, in the 7 o'clock hour. Tournament of Drops continues. It's day 3. We continue the first round, reveal the winners from yesterday in the baseball bracket, and then move on to the anatomy region with 4 more matchups
How
in our
appropriate.
Tournament of Drops.
It's just
This is gonna be a fun one.
it's so appropriate.
Does seem like
today's.
it fits well today. Yeah. So that'll come your way at
Beautiful,
7:30.
gorgeous cans.
Yeah.
Second half of the show,
Actually,
our
a
tier
7 seed.
That's a 7 seed.
7 seed.
Ooh, boy.
I don't know who it's going up against. We'll have the matchups for you coming up at 7:30. Second half of the program, Tier 1 tour, the Los Angeles Angels. Last American League team, I believe, in our spotlight as we continue our tour of all the teams, counting down to opening day. Sammy Spring Training will join us from Peoria, Arizona. Our Reindl Report. It should be a very good show for you today here on Ben and Woods. Looking forward to it.
It's all I'm thinking about. I'm just telling you right now. I'm obsessing about it. I can't get over it.
The Roldus.
Yeah.
I'm trying to distract you and change your focus this morning because I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy.
Yeah, you're right. It was not healthy.
To fixate on it.
No, it was not healthy.
It was one of the crazier things I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude.
But that's what life is today. There's something on the internet every day that's like one of the craziest things you've ever seen.
Not like that.
Not like that, but something completely different that is crazy every single
4
day.
a.m. when I saw it.
It was 2 a.m. when I saw it.
4 a.m. and he was already 2 a.m.
Just
and
this
he was
morning,
already
for
the main
instance.
character on the internet.
How does he go into the locker room today? What's up? Did you have a good night? If it was one of you, I don't even know that I could bring it up.
Like the first tweet I saw this morning, 2 men have been charged after allegedly bombing a woman's house and planning to release a large python into the victim's home to eat the victim's daughter, according to prosecutors. First tweet I saw this morning when I got up, and you're telling me there isn't something like that on the internet every single day when you get up.
Never
that
seen the son massaging his mother's breasts, ever. I've
Also,
never
they
seen
plan
it.
to mail dog feces and dead rats to the home and scalp the victim. That's
Where's
that's
that
a story.
out of? Mobile?
That is out of. It actually might be
Hey, I'm going to put
no.
that python in there.
Georgia, completely different part of the country.
Yeah, totally.
That is out of Georgia.
All right. Well, I'll try to reset and be a pro here, but I'm spun out.
I mean, you just can't let stories on the internet get to you anymore, or you'll be.
You're right.
24/7. The world is coming to an end.
I
don't know that the world has changed that much.
I'm such a doom scroller, man.
I mean, and this isn't my theory, but a lot of these things always existed, but we didn't ever know about it.
Correct.
Because we didn't have the kind of quick access to post things on the internet that would go viral worldwide, and all the crazy, weird stuff that has always happened in human history. We just now know about it. And are we better or worse off for knowing about it? You can make the argument either way.
You really can. You really can.
Well,
I like to be informed, but I don't like to be
when
this
your kids
informed.
were, running around in the 60s playing and you didn't have to worry about them for hours, guess what you did? You just didn't because you didn't know what was going on out there.
There's the invention of social media and the internet. And then the branch off of that over the last year, 2 years, even though it's been going on for a little while longer, is now people are monetizing off of their engagement.
Yeah.
So it's what is the craziest thing I can post that will get 20 million views and I will get paid.
But he wasn't doing that.
But like Ben, the other story that Ben just read, like you are seeing a lot more crazy stuff nowadays.
It's true.
Richmond Hill, Georgia. 2 30-year-old.
Read it again.
Two men have been charged
Okay.
after allegedly bombing a woman's home and planning to release a large python into the victim's home to eat the victim's daughter, according to prosecutors. The men also plan to mail dog feces and dead rats to the home and scalp the victim.
Question.
Yeah.
So they were going to bomb the home and then mail stuff to it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been better served mailing stuff to it, then bombing
Probably.
it later, and putting the python in before you bomb it?
They don't seem like the brightest.
Yeah. Not the sharpest guys I've ever heard of. Well, I hope they get the book thrown at them for their devious, nefarious plot. All right.
We need to go to break.
Let's get
let's
to
go
the
to
Padres
break. Let's get
next.
to some
For the love of
Padres
God.
talk.
Yeah.
Dylan Cease, trade rumors, and yesterday's second to last spring training game in at least in Arizona for the San Diego Padres. We'll get to that coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, let's get back to business here. The business of baseball and then the San Diego Padres. Your San Diego Padres. Play here on 97.3 The Fan.
It was a weird half hour.
It was a weird half hour. I'm starting to come out of it, and then I just remembered it again. But I'm going to push through.
So the Padres and the Diamondbacks played yesterday in their second-to-last spring training game of the Cactus League schedule. We will jump into that and the news from Mike Schilt about Jackson Merrill right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Got a handful of trouble spots already heading out of the South Bay, northbound 805 past Orange Avenue. This crash is being cleared out of the fast lane. Also, northbound 15 before Friars Road. Accident involving a couple cars. Got the slow lane blocked. Accident has cleared westbound 52 at the South 15 connector. We're seeing a little residual slowing. And in Fallbrook, southbound 15 past Mission Road. Tow trucks on scene of a collision. Got the two left lanes blocked. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So one of the reasons why you always say take spring results with a grain of salt is, for the most part, you don't know exactly who those results are coming against. Did you amass a lot of hits against non-roster invite pitchers and, 19-year-old arms in the eighth inning, or were you facing the other team's best pitchers in the early innings of games? And while that remains true, and certainly one at-bat does not signal an entire season of success, one of the reasons everyone's so excited about Jackson Merrill is he's been playing against, the first pitchers in games, and yesterday had maybe his best swing of the spring against a true ace, Zach Gallen, top of the rotation pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks, an opposite field 2-run home run that just kind of showed off everything that we've seen so far from Jackson Merrill. The swing, the barrels, the bat-to-ball skills that he possesses do seem like they're ready to play on a major league level. Is that fair to make that leap from what you've seen from him this spring?
I mean, yeah, absolutely. And I know he's a little bit inexperienced for a lot of people who I respect. I understand that. And all I can tell you is the combination of needing a center fielder and having Jackson Merrill perform as well as he has, that's a good combo, in my opinion. Like, it doesn't feel forced. When it did maybe 6 weeks ago, it doesn't feel forced now. It did feel that way to me. Like, is he really going to get a look? That's nuts. But he's done everything. We've talked to him. We've sat down. We looked him in the eye. We've heard him in interviews. And again, I know that when he's facing, a 98 mile an hour nasty rising fastball from Tyler Glasnow.
Hi, this is Jackson Merrill.
That means nothing, right?
Yeah, but he faced a nasty Zach Gallen yesterday.
Absolutely. And what I'm saying is it doesn't feel forced to me anymore. It just doesn't. And I'm super duper happy for him. I think he absolutely deserves it. Mike Schilt would not commit to penciling him in the opening day lineup.
Came close, though.
He came very close.
If you didn't hear it, this is what Mike Schilt said about Jackson Merrill's prospects at this point yesterday.
Can you just tell us that Jackson Merrill is going to be on the team?
I can tell you Jackson Merrill's going to Korea. That's what I can tell you, Ace.
Ace. Not that he'll be starting in center field on the 20th.
You said it.
Obviously, this guy's had a lot of hard outs. He has played really well. What do you see in the last, few days, especially with the 2 home runs, one off Zach Gallen?
Look, he's earned every spot. He's earned his way on the plane. He's earned what's coming after the plane. So he's done a great job, and couldn't be happier for him. Clearly he swung the bat well, played good defense, ran the bases well, plays with a lot of hard energy, passion, plays smart. Just a lot to like about Jackson Merrill, so good for him. Congratulations to Jackson.
How important is his clear kind of confidence that he has in the ability to handle the challenges that will inevitably come given the sport that he's playing?
Yeah, it's important. Being able to have self-confidence that's real and belief in yourself and an identity of who you are as a player. This game is really super hard. It's really challenging. So when things don't go as well, you've got a support system, of course, of your coaches and teammates and all the people in your life that have helped you. But ultimately, when you know who you are and what you do, and you go back to that when you need it, it's your anchor. So he's got a good anchor.
So, I think Mike Schilt said it pretty much without saying it, especially when he said he's earned what comes after the plane as well. A strong indication that Jackson Merrill not only made the traveling party, but he's going to be on the 26-man roster, and he's going to be in the lineup on opening day in center field against Tyler Glasnow and the Dodgers. And again, his slash line this spring, 343 average, 395 OBP, 600 slugging percentage.
OPS of almost 1,000.
But you can put, I've seen guys put up those kind of slash numbers.
Oh, yeah.
What's the BABIP? Are they looping in a lot of singles or are they actually driving the ball? Jackson Merrill's slash line, if anything, might be a little light.
Yeah.
He's, as it was mentioned, he's hit a lot of hard outs,
too.
Seeds. He's only struck out, I think, for the third time all spring yesterday, which in this day and age of baseball is ridiculous, even against spring training pitchers, is pretty crazy. So those numbers, they're not a mirage based on some bloops and some ground balls that found holes. He's actually swinging the bat incredibly well. He's been doing it for the most part early in games against Major League Baseball caliber pitching like Zach Gallen yesterday. And there's really no reason not to have a great deal of confidence in Jackson Merrill, despite his age, going forward, that he's going to be on this team. And I would expect Jackson Merrill is going to have a very solid rookie season if he stays healthy, and possibly could be in the running for a National League Rookie of the Year award.
Tap the brakes.
Why would I tap the brakes?
Just settle down. Putting a lot on this kid.
I'm not putting. Well, I mean, he puts as much on as anyone. Guy does not lack for confidence. We've seen that.
Sure.
Part of it is you be on the team all year long. That certainly helps you any candidacy.
Yeah, I mean,
do you expect? Let me ask you. Do you expect Jackson Merrill? Well, obviously he's going to struggle at some point. Is he going to struggle so badly they're going to have to send him back to the minor leagues?
It's a possibility. Well, it's a huge possibility. And I mean, you have the ability to do that with a young, controllable player.
Maybe even likely.
I don't know.
Yeah, like
I mean,
over
it's
a 50% chance that he gets sent down.
I don't think so.
50-50.
I don't think so. I think it's less than that.
It's literally 50-50.
I think it's
for every young
I think
player.
it's less than that. I've seen.
I mean,
what
Mickey Mantle got sent down, so like anybody can get sent down.
I'm not saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he looks ready to be an everyday baseball player.
No, there's no question, and that's what the plan is. And listen, I'm not going to overreact if he goes 6 for 8 in the series, and I'm not going to overreact if he goes 0 for 8. That I promise you. He's a young player. He deserves patience. If they're going to ride with him, he deserves my patience. I'm not going to tell you, Mr. Fan, Mrs. Fan, how to feel. That's my theory. If he gets 6 knocks and lights the world on fire, I'm going to be like, hell yeah, man. That's awesome. It's an awesome way to start your career. If he goes 0 for 8 with 7 Ks and a feeble ground out, if he pulls a Mookie Betts in the playoffs, I'm not going to overreact to that either.
I'm not, but based on what I've now I really don't think he's all of a sudden going to go out and just start. So what is he going to go 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts after striking out 3 times in spring training?
It's Tyler Glasnow, so it's a real possibility. Tyler Glasnow has done it to a lot more experienced players than Jackson Merrill.
All right, if Tyler Glasnow's that good, though, every Padre is going to struggle. Are you going to send Tatis and Bogarts and everybody down? No. Then why would you send Jackson Merrill down if he struggled? But
he's a first game. I'm not saying they're going to send him down, but I'm saying it's a possibility.
He's not going to get sent down because of the 2 games in Korea against the Dodgers, against Glasnow and Yamamoto.
And then
he also has options.
And then when he faces
in May,
but don't you feel like when he faces your average caliber major league pitching, he's more than ready to be up there?
Yeah, and there's nothing average.
Well, then the Padres don't have anything better than him, so I don't think he's going anywhere. I really don't.
There's nothing. There's nothing average about Tyler Glasnow. Nothing. So I mean, he's filthy, man. So if he goes and struggles, I'm not going to be surprised, and I'm certainly not going to be down on the kid. I'm elated for him. He's one of the best kids. We've interviewed a lot of the kids out there in the last few years. He's one of the best, if not the best, interview person that we've met. Period. He's great, and it's not just because he put our T-shirt on. That was a badass move, but it's because of his makeup. It's the way that he plays. It's the words that everybody speaks about him. It's great. But I'm not going to be surprised if he struggles. And listen, he would not be the first guy to get called up and then be sent down to figure some things out. So
you're absolutely right. My prediction, and this is just me, my opinion, and I could be wrong. I think he's here to stay.
Yeah, I hope so.
I believe that
Would love
Jackson
nothing
Merrill is here to stay for the San Diego Padres.
I absolutely hope so. I absolutely hope that he is the center fielder of the future for the San Diego Padres, no question. But I'm also tapping the brakes.
Not even if. When he struggles, if he gets sent back down to work on some things, nobody freak out.
It's just it happens. It happens. It happens all the time. And I mean, look. Think about just the last few years of can't miss guys that have missed. And I don't just mean with the San Diego Padres. Joe Adell, Mickey Moniak's having, a bit of a resurgence. I mean, you're talking about 1-1 guys sometimes that struggle and have never been able to find their footing because hitting in the big leagues is so hard. Hitting in adult league is hard. Hitting in coach pitch is hard. It's hard to do. So I love it. I'm elated for him. I think, and I asked you this off the air, I said, did the announcement of he's going to be on the plane and I thought it was a bit of a weird announcement, but then the more I thought about it, I think when you get to Korea, that's when maybe you do some sort of video because I want the content. Like I want to see him getting the news. Hey man, you're in the lineup.
It's a circumstance of the Padres' weird
it's
season.
A weird.
Once again,
it's a weird. Baseball did this. The Padres didn't do this. They put the Padres in this position to have to do it weirdly.
I understand what you're saying, and those are always fun videos, but I don't think Jackson Merrill had any doubt that he was going to be there.
100%.
I think his reaction is going to be like,
all right,
yeah, duh, I'm going to Korea. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's going to be like, I'm in the
lineup.
No,
it's not the slightly above average starting pitcher in Double-A getting the call up for a spot start. If it's first time in the big leagues, it's a little bit different than that.
When the manager comes to Jackson Merrill and says, "Kid, you've made the team," his answer, "Yeah, no shilt."
Whoa, you scared me to death. God. He really did. He scared me for a second.
He's the manager, so,
Man. No, I'm a huge fan. And I think he's going to do well.
Again, I don't know that he's going to be an MVP. I don't know that he has...
I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to be an MVP.
Not this year, but I mean, any time in his career. I don't know what the ceiling is, if it's, I don't think he's a Tatis necessarily. He's not that electric. He's not that incredibly
very few are
gifted. Exactly. I don't see that necessarily for him, but I think the floor is pretty high here on Jackson Merrill.
No doubt.
And I think he has the mental makeup to deal with some. He was asked about it yesterday. He said, "Yeah, I did struggle some last year, and it was a good learning experience for me." He embraces everything that he's getting, and he just doesn't mind it. He's a baseball player. He loves baseball. He's going to be there. Yeah. And that's why I don't think he's going back down. I think he's here to stay. Now, I don't think he's going to be immune from some struggles, but I don't think they're ever going to be like, he is so lost, we need to send him back down to the minor leagues.
How about this? Simply put, more or less production in center field in 2024 than we saw in 2023?
More.
Yeah, I think more.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree. More is the answer there.
He's not as good of a defensive center fielder as Trent Grisham. Honestly, few are, but he's going to be more than serviceable there, and he's going to be better with the bat.
He's not going to be dropping pop flies that he just camped under.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to be noticeable drop off defensively, and
it's going to be. I think it's going to be fine, but
can't do much worse offensively.
I am just. I'm very happy for him. He's 20 years old. He's going to have some things to figure out. It's going to speed up for him greatly when he gets to Korea. It's going to speed up more when he runs out, hopefully, to center field on opening day here against the Giants. But I'm cautiously optimistic about him, as I am about a lot of the guys. Drew Thorpe, another one, just so high on my list of favorite young players, had another nice outing yesterday. 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks he was pissed about. But I really like his stuff, man. His ability to locate, his changeup is so dirty and filthy. And somebody made the comp in my mentions, like, aren't you worried he's going to turn into Chris Paddock? And you know what I said? I go, From what I've seen, he's already mentally tougher than Chris Paddock. From what I've seen in the 6 weeks that I've known about Drew Thorpe, he's already feels more like a big leaguer than Chris Paddock ever did.
I know he's made a tough decision for the Padres. I don't think he's making the team. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Korea, though, and pitches in a couple of one of those exhibition games against the Korean teams. but ultimately isn't one of the last guys on the roster. Starts in the minor leagues, but could be one of the earlier call-ups if the Padres need another arm this season. He's made it tough, though, with his performance this spring on making that decision of whether he joins the rotation. Had some good bullpen work yesterday. Stephen Kolek has made it a tough decision as well. The Rule 5 guy that they picked up from the Mariners in the offseason. They're going to have to keep him on the roster if they want him in the bullpen, but he's looked good this spring.
They didn't reassign him to minor league
No,
camp?
he's still there.
Okay.
He's still.
Did he
They
throw-
can't.
Oh, he did.
They can't. They can't reassign him because they'd have to give him back to the Mariners.
That's right.
Wusat Go kind of continued his up and down spring. He had a scoreless inning. Steven Wilson had a scoreless inning yesterday as well, and had the first appearance of Leo De Vries, who struck out looking in his first spring game, but 17 years old and
Made a play
there with the big leagues. And everyone's saying he looks like Ethan Salas kind of did the year before, well beyond his age and years for what the Padres have in their new international prospect. Obviously, won't see him in the big leagues for a while, but did see him yesterday in a Cactus League game.
Get ready to learn left field, buddy.
Not a bad call, actually. All right, we will come back. We have more Mike Schilt audio for you from yesterday. Just delightful.
Oh, my goodness.
Delightful Mike Schilt audio, and then we'll play some Take on Woods coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
Joey in the chat, who is our catcher on the Tier 1 baseball team, says, are we talking about Chapman or do I have to wait for DDT? Go back and listen to the first 30 minutes of the show. That's all we talked about. And it's all I can think about. Your headphones are off. And are you good?
I'm good.
Are you texting somebody about Aroldis Chapman?
Welcome back. No, I was not texting anyone about Aroldis.
You watching
Chapman.
You're watching the video on your phone again?
No, I'm not
While
watching
we're
the
on
video
the
my
air?
phone again.
Good
I'm not.
Lord.
You know the video that I would watch over and over again, though?
I've got a few, yeah. Which
It
one?
is,
Mike Schilt.
Mike Schilt.
100%.
Yesterday, in his, was it the morning scrum yesterday?
Yes.
Just absolute.
It was like right as we got off the air. This absolute.
That man
gem.
is, he's still a surprise just because we don't know him that well yet. We've started to get to know him a little bit better, but I think there's some depths here that we haven't quite completely mined with the skipper of the Padres, Mike Schilt.
Now, he didn't laugh like this when we had dinner with him at P.F. Chang's.
Obviously, the travel party is bigger than what the active roster would be for the games against the Dodgers. You have conversations here the next 24 hours. What kind of clarity do you expect guys to be given as far as like travel party versus maybe being active for those games?
Well, we'll have travel party figured out today, and then we'll travel, and then we'll party.
As someone
when I tell you I watched this clip 20 times yesterday, holy crap.
So as someone who has the ability to delight myself,
yeah,
I respect that Mike Schilt can also delight himself.
It's so good. I'd never have heard that from him in spring. I haven't heard it at all.
I don't know that I've heard it from any human.
It's so fantastic. It's been a week of good laughs.
It has been a week of good laughs.
We had Kelly Danick in the middle of a traffic report that delighted us.
She was talking about, enjoy that extra sunshine in your eyes on your afternoon commute.
Evil. Then you had Ben doing his version of the Surfari's Wipeout, which was amazing.
Wipeout.
What a week. The Ben and Woods program.
And now we have Mike Schilt. And there's a gleam in his eyes. He's got to think so. We're going to travel, and we'll party.
It's so good. So good. I remain a fan of Mike Schilt. So far, we'll see. See how it goes.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, we need a contestant for Take on Woods. 833-288-0973. Call now. Try to qualify a listener for a trip to Las Vegas in our musical trivia contest in just a couple of minutes. 833-288-0973. How much to make of the Dylan Cease story Ken Rosenthal posted last night on The Athletic, that the White Sox are kind of upping their efforts after finding no takers. It was almost certainly a very high asking price with pitching at a premium on the market, but no trade yet, and they're looking to deal him, and maybe even here before the start of the season.
It's wild, man. Like
that, why do you say it's wild?
Well, yeah, they asked Pedro Grifol, the manager yesterday of the White Sox, like, well, some new rumors swirling around. Is he going to be your opening day starter still? He's like, I have no idea. So it seems that they're actively looking to move him right now. I did also see that they're interested, the White Sox that is, in bringing on Michael Lorenzen. So that would, I guess, tell me, all right, we're going to trade Dylan Cease, get a lot back for him. Michael, we're not going anywhere really this year. We throw Lorenzen in as a stopgap or whatever. Somebody that's got to eat those innings that Cease was going to eat. I've seen mixed reviews on, at least from Padres fans, about how they feel. I think there's a few guys in this current crop of Padres prospects that you look at and go, absolutely not. No, you're not getting Dylan Lesko, right? Who we have all heard is pretty high in the mind of AJ and the crew there. Dylan Lesko is like the next big thing for the San Diego Padres, at least from what we've heard out of Padres camp. Yeah. Drew Thorpe is one for me. I'm like, sorry, bud. Now, there's other guys.
Jackson Merrill, Ethan Salas.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, right.
You can't have everybody be untouchable, though, if you're going to make a deal.
Well, the good thing is there are other guys out there. And I think, Iriarte's one that he's got really, really good stuff. But I would be, if I'm Chicago, I'm asking for him. I'm asking for Snelling and Iriarte and but there's other guys.
Yeah, I mean, if Iriarte's the prize piece of this trade, do it already.
I think you do it.
Just go ahead. There's always room to make a deal. And the question here is,
can you fleece them? That's the question.
Well, yeah, not every prospect is going to make it to the big leagues. You have to identify, as general manager, this is the job. I tweeted this last night. This is the job. You amass as much talent as you can in your minor leagues. Then you identify the guys that you're really high on, and you bring them up and make them the core of your team. And everybody else is tradable for, additional talent that helps you win on the big league level. There are dozens of minor leaguers that will never make it to your big league squad, either because they're not good enough or because you've got guys already in those positions locked up for years to come. So what are you going to do with them? Because you can't just say, hey, we're just going to leave you in the minor leagues until we run out of options, and then we got to give you up. It's better to trade them now. If you don't think they're ever going to make it and be a regular contributor on your team, trade them. Trade them for something that's going to help you. And I think there's no question that Dylan Cease at some level is going to help you.
Well,
innings, frontline arm.
I was just going to say
that's something you clearly need on this team right now. 2 years of control, and you can afford him because he's only making about $8 million. You could stay under the luxury tax. I mean, that is a lot of boxes right there that say, yeah, this is someone the San Diego Padres can and should be interested in right now.
You're talking about a guy in the last 3 seasons. The lowest number of innings pitched is 165 in the lowest. Okay, and that was 2021. In 22, he threw 184 innings. Last season, he threw 177 innings. We talked about it. We talked about why a team goes out and signs a Lucas Giolito, right? And Cease better than Giolito, let's be honest. And Dylan Cease did not have his best year last year. His fastball is trending down. It was at the end of last season. But they're saying there's a renewed ability in spring training. I think he's looked better. At least that's the reports, Ben. But last year, 7-9, 4.58 ERA, started 33 games. Again, 177 innings, struck out 214 guys. That sounds like a guy that could help any rotation out there. And if it costs you 3 or 4 prospects and maybe even one of them that's going to sting a little bit, you got to do it, in my opinion. You have to. I think it's not going to vault you to the top of the NL West standings, but man, you feel like you're a lot more competitive.
No, but it could be the difference between 84 wins and 87 wins,
yeah,
which might be a playoff spot versus not a playoff spot. I don't know. That's a evaluation that AJ Preller needs to make. And remember, AJ Preller doesn't control it all as well. The White Sox may not. Maybe the only guy they like is Dylan Lesko. And if you don't trade him, it's not happening. And A.J. Preller is just going, that's the one guy I can't trade. So he can't control what the White Sox want and ask for.
Yeah.
But I think there's certainly no reason you wouldn't be aggressively taking part in negotiations right now and seeing if you can come to an agreement. And certainly being willing to part with a couple of your higher level prospects here that may not be the guys that you're all in on, but certainly are guys that other organizations may see as very desirable commodities.
Well, and listen, the Yankees are going to be, apparently have already made an offer. The Texas Rangers are interested in Dylan Cease as well, now that he's, I guess that they're motivated to move him. So you're in competition with those guys and their prospects as well.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything that was said just now about Dylan Cease. He checks off a lot of boxes for the Padres. He would be a great fit. I would love to see them go out and acquire him. But the article in question that kind of started all of this yesterday from Ken Rosenthal, I thought the slight mention of the Padres was more of a nothing burger for me.
Well, it could have been.
The whole article was about he's a Ranger or a Yankee. And they said, and by the way, the White Sox scouts have been seen at the Padres camp. I bet a lot of teams are scouting the Padres prospects.
Well, knowing as many deals as A.J. Preller likes to pull and how many prospects he's been willing to move in his tenure.
The article was not talks intensify between Padres and White Sox.
But it's also, I mean, look, it's also, out of those three teams, I wonder who's. I think the Yankees' need is the greatest, with Garrett Cole potentially being hurt. Their need is the greatest. The Padres have a 5-man starting rotation right now.
I think the Rangers have more need.
I think the Rangers could have more need with DeGrom being out, Scherzer. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if he's moved. And
Paul,
I think he will.
Your point is a good one, and I don't disagree. But I will say that A.J. Preller, his info has been tight lately. I mean, not a lot of leaks coming out of the Padres. So the fact that Ken Rosenthal hasn't necessarily directly heard anything, to me, doesn't mean as much as maybe in the past. The fact that the White Sox are scouting the Padres is telling in that sense. And you're right, they're probably scouting a lot of other teams as well. But there's at least a logic to it that would make me believe that the Padres and White Sox are talking about this right now.
Yeah. I mean, nothing would surprise me.
All right, yeah, we'll get your thoughts as well if you want to. You can tweet us or join us on the YouTube chat. We'll take some phone calls later. Right now, though, let's get today's game. It's time for Take on Woods. Take on Woods is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. It only takes 15 minutes. You don't have to get out of your car. For directions and discounts, go to SoCalOilChange.com. That's SoCalOilChange.com. Let's welcome Greg in for today's game of Take on Woods. Hello, Greg.
Hello, guys. How you doing?
Good. How would you like to go to Las Vegas?
I like Vegas just fine.
Outstanding. If you can beat or tie Woods, we'll put you into our grand prize drawing for the 2-night stay at the Fontainebleau. The brand new Fontainebleau $150 dinner credit. You can go book now your own room at FontainebleauLasVegas.com. Here are today's categories. Got mind games. The word mind, key there. Forever and Ever. Those are 5 song titles that include either the word ever or forever. And our mystery category is back. The 2-second song will reveal all if you choose the mystery category. So, Greg, mind games, Forever and Ever, or the mystery category?
Oh, boy. Let's go with the mystery category.
Usually it's avoided for weeks and weeks, but today it is back, the mystery category. All you need to do is identify the 2-second song, and you'll unlock the key to answering the other 4 questions. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paul plays the music. The category, the mystery category. Good luck, Greg. Let's take on Woods.
Thank you. Hungry Heart, Tom Petty.
Oh, it's not Hungry Heart, but keep in mind that answer. Foreigner's Luke Graham says a mysterious woman inspired his powerful performance on which 1981 single that spent a record 10 weeks at number 2 on the Billboard charts?
Urgent?
That's not that one. Richard Marx wrote which 1989 number 1 hit as a love letter to his wife, actress Cynthia Rhodes, who was out of the country on a movie shoot?
Pass.
John Mayer won a Grammy for which politically tinged bluesy hit that was the lead single from his 2006 album Continuum?
Pass.
Bob Marley sings I Don't Wanna in which 1977 reggae classic with his band The Wailers?
Oh, this is not going well, boys.
So hard when you don't get the mystery category 2-second song. Yeah, that was a tough one.
Oh, man.
Let's just hold off, and we'll let Woods come in and see how he does, and we'll give everyone a second chance to go through and see if they can figure out what is the element that ties all of the answers together today on the mystery category. You keep thinking about it at home. We'll bring Woods in. Put 60 seconds back on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Greg.
The Waiting, Tom Petty.
Correct. Foreigner's Luke Graham says a mysterious woman inspired his powerful performance in which 1981 single that spent a record 10 weeks at number 2 on the Billboard charts?
Pass.
Richard Marx wrote which 1981 number 1 hit as a love letter to his wife, actress Cynthia Rhodes, who was out of the country on a movie shoot?
Right Here Waiting?
Correct. John Mayer won a Grammy for which politically tinged bluesy hit that was the lead single from his 2006 album Continuum?
Pass.
Bob Marley sings I Don't Wanna, in which 1977 reggae classic with his band The Wailers?
Waiting in Vain?
Correct. Foreigner's Lou Gramm says a mysterious woman inspired his powerful performance, on which 1981 single that spent a record 10 weeks at number 2 on the Billboard charts?
It's a category.
Waiting. Oh, Waiting for a Girl Like You.
Correct. John Mayer won a Grammy for which politically tinged bluesy hit that was
Waiting
the
for
lead.
the World to Change.
Wow! 5 for 5
God,
on an
tough.
incredibly difficult mystery category. Yes, the waiting was the key on the Tom Petty song, which unfortunately Greg didn't get, which made the rest of them pretty much impossible from there on out. But as Woods just demonstrated, it was doable.
It's a masterclass, by the way.
And that was one of the great performances I have seen from you in Take on Woods.
Thank you.
A
I was
5-0 win
5-0.
on a very tough category, a mystery category, no less.
Very focused.
On not the biggest songs in the world on any of them either. But waiting, of course, was the common thread in all the answers.
What was the... All right, give me him again.
The Waiting by Tom Petty, Waiting for a Girl Like You, Right Here Waiting, Waiting on the World to Change, and Waiting in Vain.
I really like that Richard Marx song a lot.
It's a good one. Yeah, he wrote it. So I was reading about it. His wife was in South Africa on a long movie shoot, and he was missing her. So he's just right here waiting for you.
Wherever you... Something. It's really sweet.
Saw that Eric Carmen passed away.
Oh, I meant to bring that up yesterday.
We might need to do a shout out to his
we can do a
family
shout.
at some point as well.
Of that.
It's kind of in that same Richard Marxy vein in my mind.
For sure.
Hungry Eyes.
Hungry Eyes, yes. Not Hungry Heart.
Not Hungry Heart.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a little time out. We'll come back. Don't Do This is coming up next. Do you have anything to bring to the table on Don't Do This?
Yeah, Nick Saban.
Okay. We can go there. Absolutely.
That could take the whole segment.
Is he out of his mind?
I've got an Antonio Brown, Don't Do This Hall of
You're
Famer
joking.
story.
He's back?
Oh, yeah. He's back.
No, I had no idea.
He's back. Never like to miss an Antonio Brown possibility. Coming up next after a check of traffic, Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Did you know you can listen to 97.3 The Fan with your smart speaker? Just ask your device to play 97.3 The Fan to give it a shot. And we will start Don't Do This today with a Don't Do This Hall of Famer. First ballot, Antonio Brown back in the news yesterday and hoping to cash in. He's selling T-shirts now.
Okay,
and
we do that.
We do.
Yeah.
The theme of the T-shirts is CTE. So I guess some people, and they can be cruel on social media, have blamed Antonio's erratic behavior in the last couple of years, saying this dude must be suffering from CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy.
Nailed it.
Brown has decided let's turn that around. And he uses the CTE hashtag a lot now, and he says that means catch the energy for his new brand, apparently, which is now CTESPN, and he has a T-shirt, and it has a picture of him with the shirt off when he just left and walked off the field. Remember that with the Tampa Bay Bucks? Like, I'm done.
It's incredible.
And there's also a picture of him in his Steelers uniform from back in the day. He's selling them for $40 online, which is a high price point for what looks like a foreign-made T-shirt of some sort. Do we sell them for $40 too? They're a little less, aren't they?
I think so.
A little bit less.
Yeah.
Here's a couple of things on it, though. First of all, you could say it's not in great taste. CTE is certainly something that many pro football players have suffered to devastating consequences.
No doubt.
So don't know if that's in the best class or sentiment in putting on a T-shirt. The other is, I guarantee you he did not get like the licensing to put his NFL images on this shirt. So if the NFL wanted to go to him and go, you can't sell these. It's picture of there's
him.
a Steelers uniform on there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like there's
Slippery
NFL
slope.
It's a slip, but there is NFL licensing and stuff on
True.
there, and I can promise you he didn't go through the proper channels to get that all done. Who knows? Maybe a T-shirt empire is in the cards for Antonio Brown, but yeah, that's what Antonio Brown.
So
has been
he's
doing
not
lately.
He has changed CTE to mean what? Catch the energy. I mean, everything he does. I hope whoever he got the shirts from, I hope they got their money in advance. That's always the
Good
thing, because
point.
he never pays. That's like his. I mean, besides some of the deadbeat dad stuff and all that, but like that dude will commission somebody to do something and be like, I'm not paying. Like, I need you to build this for me. He's like, I'm not paying you.
Borrow
It
your $1 million in jewelry
It
and not
happens
give it
all
back.
the time. Like, that's his number one thing. The guy hates paying the bills that he gets. All right, so Nick Saban. Now, you might think I'm going to come on here this morning and rip Nick Saban. I think, so if you missed this yesterday, there was a little round table that they basically did and talking about the state of college football and where it's headed. And listen, he's not wrong. And people that lament where college football is heading right now, they're not wrong. It is an issue. And there is a playing field that is weird, and there's this transfer portal, and guys can go to 4 schools in 4 years, and they can follow the money around. That's fine. We normal people in America, we could do the exact same thing if we wanted to, right? We were so accustomed to kid signs a scholarship to play. He gets his room, his board. He plays football. He plays hard. He plays for the love of the game. Tries to win a championship. Gets his education. Goes out. Gets a job. Joins the workforce. It's changed, and the momentum has gathered. So Nick Saban sits down. It's not even.
This wasn't like a round table, like a podcast.
No. This is
He's on Capitol Hill.
Capitol Hill. And this is what I have a problem with is what he said and how he said it. So go ahead, Pauley.
Well, all the things that I believed in for all these years, 50 years of coaching, no longer exist in college athletics.
Pause.
So it's
false. That's absolutely, unequivocally false. All right, keep going.
always was about developing players. It was always about helping people be more successful in life. My wife even said to me, we'd have all the recruits over on Sunday with their parents for breakfast, and she would always meet with the mothers and talk about how she was going to help and impact their sons and how they would be well taken care of. And she came to me, like right before I retired and said, why are we doing this? And I said, what do you mean? She said, all they care about is how much you're going to pay them. They don't care about how you're going to develop them, which is all what we've always done. So why are we doing this? So, to me, that was sort of a red alert that we really are creating a circumstance here that is not beneficial to the development of young people, which is why I always did what I did. My dad did it. I did it. And that's the reason that I always like college athletics more than the NFL, is because you had the opportunity to develop young people. So, and I want their quality of life to be good. I think, as I said before, name, image, and likeness is a great opportunity for them to create a brand for themselves. I'm not against that at all. But to come up with some kind of a system that still can help the development of young people, I think, is paramount to the future of college athletics.
So there's a couple of things in there that that's number one. He's speaking as the highest paid employee in the state of Alabama, the highest paid. That man made $150 million coaching football. He and many of his coaches have had the ability to sign a deal, walk away for more money at any time. And they had the ability to sit in the kid's living room and say, no, I'm going to be here. I'm going to do. Now, Nick stayed. He was there a long time. And I do respect Nick Saban. I do. I feel like, personally, the playing field has become a little bit more level. He could have walked away, Ben, in my opinion, and just said, my time has come. I've done enough in this business to do that. But to say that all the kids care about is money, that's it. That's the only thing. No one plays for their teammates. No one plays for the love of the game anymore. A lot of these college football schools are factories. They churn and burn like business, like the business of America. This is actually, in my opinion, a better way to tell these kids what's coming for them down the road in the real world than come in here. We don't give you any money. You are you're a slave to what I say. This way that they're doing it now is actually more like the real world.
Well, I guess what I would object to that Nick Saban said is there's no reason you can't do both. Hey, we're going to get you $250,000 in NIL money, and we're going to develop you as a human,
right,
and teach you some skills, and we're going to be invested in you and your education as well, and also get you a lot of money at the same time. That really should be the way it does work. Now, he's right in that the vast majority of football players are not going on to professional football,
right,
even in college football, and they should be using that time to also be developing skills for after college, business contacts, whatever they're going to do. And if they're not, that's on them as well. That's on the families. Like, hey, it'd be great if you get as much money as you can in college, but if there was a different college where you could study something that you really were passionate about, it might be worth it to go there and maybe take a little less money in NIL, because this is a field of study that you're going to be working the rest of your life. And
he also makes it seem like he was a coach for altruistic reasons. You know that there was a clause in his contract that triggered every time someone made more money than him so that he would always be the highest paid coach? Yeah, that was.
We should each get that in our contract. So every time we just go back and forth. I get a raise, you get a raise.
Again,
that doesn't work. If two people have that in their contract in college football,
you're screwed. Yeah,
it's just all of a sudden they just keep going up infinitely.
Like I do like Nick Saban. I do. I really do. I'm not saying he's old man yelling at clouds. I'm not. I'm really not. I like where his head is at. But let's not act also like the elephant in the room that it's never really been an even playing field as far as what schools get what recruits and how.
All right, quickly, we're a little behind. Do this.
DD mega
Congratulations to the San Diego State women's basketball team.
No doubt.
They have defied the odds as a 7 seed and advanced to the championship game of the Mountain West tournament tonight. They beat Boise State 72-69 last night in the semifinals and are 1 win away from a trip to the NCAA tournament. The championship game 7:30 tonight at the Thomas and Mack Center after the men's games this afternoon. Adriana Quezada with 26 points last night, including some clutch free throws. I was watching down the stretch, put on some highlights. Now, this is going to be a tough one. UNLV is the number 1 seed. They're the home team. And when the two teams played a couple of weeks ago on the same court, the Rebels won by 59.
Oof.
59.
So keep that in mind. Now, when they played at Viejas, it was a 7-point game. So it's not as though they can't compete with UNLV.
What a disparity.
But they didn't the last time. It was an absolute...
What the hell happened?
It was a blowout. But hey, this was not expected, and they are now one win away from a potential surprise trip to the NCAA tournament. Also, congratulations to Lamont Butler, who was named the Defensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West by coaches. Jaden Ledee was not the Player of the Year, though. First team all-conference, but Great Osabor of Utah State was voted the Player of the Year by the coaches yesterday in the Mountain West. Aztecs also take on UNLV on the men's side tomorrow at 2:30 in their first game in the Mountain West tournament.
All right.
And that's Don't and Do This for a Wednesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Definitely want to get back to the Dylan Cease trade talks coming up here in a bit. But first, when we return, the Tournament of Drops continues. We got 4 more matchups, winners to reveal, and new matchups for the day as we continue our first round of our favorite sound clips of the past year. 32, whittling it down to one champion in the end. It's coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Getting both sides of the Dylan Cease argument here on Twitter. Jay Landy tweets, Cease feels like bait. One elite 180 ERA plus season in 22, two slightly above average ones in 20 and 2021. Took a decent step back last year. We really want to sell a good portion of the farm for 2 years of a toss-up. It's a good point. Dylan Cease is not the be-all, end-all of pitchers.
No.
He's not a surefire Cy Young Award winner or a guy that you can necessarily count on as being an ace of the staff. He does eat innings, as you, though, pointed out.
He does.
And the Padres do need that as well.
They do.
And you're not going to find a guy who eats innings and has the potential to put up a good season.
For $8 million?
For $8 million like Dylan Cease.
I get it. It's more than $8 million. It's $8 million plus, some
prospects,
guys that you like.
I think the question.
But you've done a really good job at rebuilding the farm system. In fact, you may have 3 guys or 4 guys on this roster making their big league debuts, in the next couple of weeks.
I think the other question is, if you had $8 million to spend, would you rather throw that at, say, Tommy Pham and address
or Adam Duvall or somebody like that,
or left field, or do you want more pitching with that money as well? Remember, if you sign one of those guys, you don't have to give up any prospects.
Yeah, true. That's exactly right.
Also,
that's exactly it's just money.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Tommy Pham's asking for $18 million, and it's not even close. But feels like 8 seems to be in the ballpark of what you could get a Tommy Pham for without prospects given up. He also makes the team better in my mind, as would Dylan Cease,
no doubt.
But there's price tag for everything.
There's still question marks as far as what is going to be counted on from you, Darvish and Joe Musgrove and Michael King. And then beyond that, you get into the Brito and the Waldron. That's when it gets fairly dicey, So I think, you could pencil in at least 160 innings being chewed up by Dylan Cease. That's nothing to sneeze at for $8 million. It's just not.
Yeah, if you made Brito, Waldron, Vasquez into one starter at the back of a rotation and combined it all together, probably have a pretty good 5th starter there.
Yeah,
but if you're counting on 2 of them
to eat
most of those innings in the 4 and 5, now all of a sudden
recipe for a pretty ragged bullpen.
Yeah, you're getting a little thin at that point. Yep. All right, it's official. You can tune in to 97.3 The Fan next Wednesday and Thursday as Soapy Joe's presents the games from Seoul, South Korea. Listen to Jesse Agler and Soapy Joe's Chief Bubble Officer, Tony Gwynn Jr., call the action. Soapy Joe's is also the official sponsor of our Padres in Seoul, South Korea watch party Wednesday morning, March 20th at 3 a.m. at 7 Mile Casino. It's all brought to you by Soapy Joe's Car Wash. Good, clean, fun. The Tournament of Drops results from our second region and 4 new matchups coming up right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Soapy Joe's. Northbound side of the 805, recovering from a couple of earlier crashes in the South Bay. One cleared out of Middle Lanes near Main Street. The other accident cleared out of the fast lane past Orange Avenue. In Fallbrook, tow truck still on scene of a collision southbound 15 just past Mission Road. That's got the fast lane blocked. Chief Bubble Officer Tony Gwynn Jr. offers some exciting news. Soapy Joe's newest location is now open on Cuyamaca Street in Santee. Come and join the Wash Club to get unlimited washes. Come drive in today at the all-new Soapy Joe's on Cuyamaca in Santee. Soapy Joe's is good, clean fun. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Let's go through yesterday's results. First-round matchups in the baseball region of our 5th annual Tournament of Drops. You had the #1 seed, Goose Gossage, calling me a nerd, against the #8 seed, Jackson Merrill's introduction to the Ben and Woods program. And with 79.5% of the vote, the winner was...
You're a nerd, too.
I mean, yeah, it's the 1 seed for a reason. And Goose Gossage advances into the Sweet 16.
What was the percentage again?
79.5.
Okay.
All right. In the 4 versus 5 matchup, you had the 4 seed, the Dodgers broadcasters, cancel the parade against Mud Grant's weird noise on the broadcast.
I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah. And
I do,
with
I'm not going to say
66.1% of the vote, a good 2/3 majority, the winner was...
Take a listen.
A slight upset as Mud takes it and advances out of the first round. All right, in the 3 versus 6 matchup, you had Bob Melvin, Juan, taking on a new one, Manny Machado from spring training. What up, crew? Interrupting us while we were talking with Jake Cronenworth. And with 78.7% of the vote, almost as big of a winner as the number 1 seed. The winner of that matchup was?
What up, crew?
Yes, thank God.
A definite new riser on the scene with Manny Machado moves into the Sweet 16. And finally, the number 2 seed, John Smoltz with baseball obviousness. You've got to
I just felt the way that the roster is built, they would have to outscore their opponents to win.
Yeah. Taking on
Can't get that analysis anywhere.
That's a good point.
ABBA singing Fernando. The winner with 63.4% of the vote was, in fact, John Smoltz.
It's got to be.
Moving on. So you have a 1 seed, a 2 seed, the 5 seed, and the 6 seed moving on in the baseball region to the Sweet 16. And now that brings us to today's 4 matchups as we move over to the right side of our bracket. Top right, and our anatomy region, named as such because most of the entrants have something to do with a body part in this region.
Hence the name, yeah.
Led by the number 1 seed in this round, and we know that your children have done well in the Tournament of Drops.
They really
in the
have.
past.
One is a winner.
Yeah.
This time it is Taylor, your youngest, with the number 1 seed.
This was from the Christmas and holiday extravaganza back in December.
Such a sweet angel.
They love these nuts.
And going up against the number 8 seed, yours truly.
Just the tip.
Whoa. That's very weird.
I don't remember if that was a discussion of gratuities or what else it might have been, but that's your 1 versus 8 matchup. The number 4 seed, a lot of me in this anatomy region.
A lot.
Oh my God, I'm so stiff.
Like a 12-year-old in the anatomy region.
Against the number 5 seed. Balls bouncing off my chest.
Oh, lacrosse. Yeah.
That's a tough matchup.
That is a really tough 4 or 5.
Those are both incredible.
Sad that someo's going home.
They're both
in that
incredible.
Matchup. The number 3 seed, it's not me this time.
Ooh, a booty. I'm going to have a booty.
Jesse Agler.
Jesse Agler talking about Brett Sullivan.
You don't hear Jesse say things like that very often.
No,
Ooh, a booty.
He doesn't do like voices and stuff. He just is he's Jesse.
Ooh, a booty.
Against the number 6 seed, which I really still don't understand
M.R,
completely.
baby.
Big bomber class before busting on me head.
Kills me every single time.
I see. It's one of those.
That's a tough one, too.
Where you hear the audio and then you see the guy's face. He's a
vein popping out of his neck.
He's a white reggae guy.
Big bomber class before busting on me head.
It's M.R, and he kills me every single
I think those are the only 2 seconds of that song we can play.
The
on
rest
radio.
is fairly dirty. Yeah,
it's extremely dirty.
Extremely dirty.
No, it belongs in the anatomy region.
That's exactly right.
There you go. And then finally, at the bottom of the region, the number 2 seed, a little hotel talk.
Pfister? Yeah, absolutely.
Milwaukee's famous haunted Pfister Hotel.
Gets me every
Going
time.
up against the 7 seed.
Beautiful, gorgeous cans.
What was that from? It sounded like we were on remote.
You were talking about Aroldis Chapman's mother.
No, I was not.
You were.
Talking about my wife, Hannah.
No, I was not. I think I was talking about recycling.
No, it was AleSmith. We were at AleSmith, and they brought out the new cans.
Oh, the new, the beer
big,
cans.
Gorgeous cans.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, gorgeous cans.
Of beer. Cans of beer.
Of beer, yes.
And that is our 4 matchups, which we are posting right now on Twitter. Get your votes in for the next 24 hours.
12-year-olds.
And we will have 4 more members of our Sweet 16. Tomorrow, we will drop into the wild card region, the final of our 4 regions. And at the end of tomorrow, as competition, we will have our Sweet 16 members in our Tournament of Drops.
Like, if M.R doesn't win, I'm going to lose my mind.
It's a 6 seed.
I
I'm going
know.
up against Jesse.
I know.
That's a tough one.
It is very tough.
This is a tough region. There's always the region of death.
Yeah.
This might be the region
This
of
one's
death.
so tough, man.
Up here in the corner.
So
All right,
tough.
since yesterday we revisited our very first Tournament of Drops in 2020.
Yeah.
And the full field of 64. And I enjoyed, I hadn't heard of some of those drops in a very long time. We thought, well, why don't we just keep doing that? So today, let's move on to our second annual Tournament of Drops and relive the field from 2021 and remind everybody who won. So,
Some
Paul,
absolute bangers in this field of
2021, second annual Tournament of Drops. Here's what it sounded like.
Do the show, bitch.
Shout out to his family.
Oh, my God, I'm high.
Oh, look, Phil Sims just did it.
Sense of smell.
All
right, it is 6 o'clock in the morning.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
I came in like a wrecking ball. Nuts.
Pineapple.
How did you gain all the weight?
You like sandwiches out there?
Jesus.
Go to hell, Pro Sports.
Jamul.
Creamy nut butter.
It's been.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
What's WAP?
Ben, you do a great job. Have done it for so long.
Mask on, sucker.
This is ridiculous.
Visit SDCCU.
We're coming for that ass.
Talk radio.
Cools your little tushy.
Number hopefully 4. Blake Snell.
It's like Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer.
It was an
Elite.
epic final as well, in which the shout out to his family went up against Do the Show Bitch in the final.
family.
Wow. Who won?
And the winner was
Do the show, bitch.
Incredible.
the second annual Tournament of Drops champion.
The John Bon Jovi just lays me out every time. We had so much fun. Like, that was the Corona content. Everyone was bored, just playing guitar in their house, filming themselves and tweeting it out. And it was we got so much gold from that year. Oh my God, that was banger after banger. That's well done.
So tomorrow we'll
Do the show, bitch.
revisit the third annual Tournament of Drops as we continue on with our first round matchups here. And eventually, at the end of next week, we should crown our fifth annual Tournament of Drops winner. But remember, get your votes in. We've had surprises. I mean, the number one seeds have advanced so far, but there have been many surprises in the past. It's all up to you out there. We have our own favorites, but you don't always agree with us.
No, you rarely do.
Carving Guy would have won last year if we had the choice, but we don't. He was eliminated.
M.R's already getting beat by Jesse, and I'm furious about this. Time to go to my 700 burner accounts and start voting.
People have their favorites. So are putting the link up in the YouTube stream as well.
Fister and Cans it's deadlocked right now. I mean, it is like let's see. Yeah, the other one's tight.
It's early. There's time for to change. This is just the first few minutes. You got plenty of time to get your votes in.
Taylor's doing well
in the Tournament of Drops. All right, I want when we come back, I would like to hear from some Padres fans. We can open the lines about Dylan Cease trade talk. Maybe this is a whole lot of nothing right now, and A.J. Preller is happy with the team that they've put together that is heading to Korea and is not planning on making any changes. However, you certainly wouldn't turn down some more innings in your pitching rotation. It all just comes down to what's the price. What can you possibly pry Dylan Cease away from the White Sox in exchange for? If you want to call us, 833-288-0973. We can take some phone calls here to start the second half of our program. You can also find us on social media, our YouTube chat as well. Just go to the @Ben&Woods page on Twitter to find us there.
The Geraldo's just popped up again on my feed. He's deleted it from his Instagram stories. Just FYI.
Too late.
It's here. It's right here again. Just both of them.
Too late. All right, 2 hours down, 2 hours to go. Ben & Woods continues on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Halfway home on a Wednesday, Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. I'm Woodsy, Paul Reindl, the executive producer, Ben Higgins to my left, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. And we are about to have a conversation here on the program. We didn't get any calls because I don't think anybody cares about Dylan Cease.
It's fine. I think they do, but we'll get back to that.
I'd rather talk about this, to be honest with you.
Show business.
Yeah,
Show business.
Your
There's
wife.
no business like show business.
It's true. Is this show business? I think we've asked that question before. Would you consider this show?
I don't know. I don't
you're
think
on
we've asked this question before.
Do
I work in show business?
Right. If I'm on a plane and a guy looks at me and says, what do you do for a living? It's show business.
I mean, literally, our business
It's
is
a
a
show.
show.
Right.
But I wouldn't say that we're in show business.
I kind of like saying, me? Oh, I'm in show business.
Don't worry about it. I'm in show business. What do you do?
Radio show. Oh, I thought you said you were in show business.
That is weird because I
Showbiz.
said we're not in show business, but our business is literally a show.
Correct. But I feel like we would be DBs if we said, well, we're in show business. We're not really in show business. I don't think. Anyway, your wife, Pauley, in the chat said that she wants a shirt that says "Do the Show, Bitch" on it.
This is a long-standing discussion on the program.
It is.
Of all people, I'm like, I don't think you can put "bitch" on a shirt. I just don't think you can with our logo.
I think it's the most iconic phrase of our show.
But it's not even our phrase. Now, if you don't know the backstory of that, it's two radio hosts. They got in a fight on the air. They ended up splitting up. We had the guy that said it on our show, and we said,
I don't think he trademarked it, though.
He did.
So.
He told us, go ahead. Do whatever you want with it. Can we say, in this era of being, PC, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but he wasn't saying it like...
I'm sitting here talking to you, and you're like, huh? What? You don't even have your microphone
I'm
on.
not going to sit here. It's already been 2 segments of horrible. If you want me to leave, I'll cut off the mic and I'll leave. Just do the show. It sounds horrible.
Hey, I'll do the show. You
Thank
go do
you.
what you
Oh,
want
you
to do.
don't-
We're good.
Okay. God.
Dude, that's
Do
gotta be
the
most
show. You're
ridiculous
still
thing.
crying. Do the show. I've already
Hey,
cut
if
off
I'm
the
doing
mic.
show, you're not paying attention. Go do what you're doing. Go have a good time.
God, man.
Go do whatever the hell you're doing. It doesn't matter.
Well, do the show. Quit being a bitch.
Oh, my God.
Whatever. I'm the one doing the show. You're the one checking out. Have a good day. See ya.
Go on, dudes. Do the show, bitch.
There it is.
Come on, you're acting like a little bitch on this.
Although
That's the most embarrassing radio I ever did.
It is so good.
Underrated in that rant is it's already been 2 segments of horrible.
It just kills me every single time.
good.
It's like, and listen, Ben and I, we could have that fight 1,000 times. We just haven't. We have not. We would never devolve into that, I don't think.
We had the guy on the air the next morning.
I felt so bad for him. And they're not a show anymore. I loved that guy. He was so nice. He's like,
Jason Braddock.
yeah,
I
and
believe
he's
was his
like,
name,
I'm,
in Houston.
he's like, look, and you get it. You're in close quarters and you're all trying to accomplish the same thing. And sometimes it's like, oh man, but you can't get to that point where it's like, he's angry. Like they're just angry. Both of them are just fed up with each other. But anyway, I digress.
Now, we had talked about this years ago.
We did when
Should
it
we
came
make that
out.
a shirt? And we're like, I don't know. It feels weird having that word on a shirt
with our logo
that we have created, put out on our merch store.
Yeah, in context, on the radio, it's fine.
Yeah.
But when you're walking
Do
down
the
the
show,
street
bitch.
and there are people who don't know anything about Ben and Woods or Tier 1s and what it's a reference to, it could be a little spicy.
Now, the funny thing is I'll be walking through Petco, and so I will hear from, "What day? Do the show, bitch!" all the time. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. I love it. I think it's one of my favorite moments we've ever had when we found that audio. We knew it was going to be gold, and it's become a part of the Ben and Woods lore. That being said, do you do it with the B asterisk 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 CH or something like
What
that?
if we made the asterisks the Ben and Woods logo or something?
Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, that I would get
Now,
behind. How about do the show C word? Will that fly?
No.
Just
That's
all
not the
your
job.
do the show, MFer. Just all your favorite. You put your own curse word in that you like
Now,
at the bottom.
probably 2 years ago now. We
do the showbiz. That's genius.
We
Andrassi, thank you. Andros last, thank you.
We did a little competition amongst the three of us when we launched our merch store. We each came up with a design.
Yeah.
And I think we did it for 2 weeks, and who would sell the most shirts. And Woods had Bo draw in his handwriting.
Tier one. I love it. I still wear that
Ben's
shirt
was
all
a
the
Colonel
time.
Budget. And then I did have your guys' silhouettes, and it said do the show ... I think we've evolved. Honestly, if I was at Petco Park and I saw somebody with a do the show bitch t-shirt, I would give them a hug.
I would too.
It would make me very happy.
All right, let's make the shirt. I'm going to have my guy. We have our guy, Michael Shen, who's our beloved. He's kind of like our guy on retainer. So I just text him.
Draw it up.
I text him like goofy
Like a
ideas.
lawyer.
Yeah, he's our some people have lawyers on retainers. We have a graphic designer on retainer, and he's so talented, so talented. All right, I'll see if he's probably listening, but I'll get him on it right now. All right, I'm in.
All right, done.
I'm texting.
Do the show, bitch.
All right, yeah, come on. It's acting like a little bitch right now.
All right, getting some opinions on a possible Dylan Cease trade here.
Okay.
Alex says, Merrill, Ethan Salas, DeVries, Snelling, and Thorpe are untouchables in my opinion. Everyone else can start packing. So Lesko can start packing. I from what I've heard, they're too high on Lesko to let him go. Padres Thoughts has an interesting one. He says Preller won't sit on all these prospects in a make or break season.
I saw that yesterday. Was that from
That was
yesterday?
from last night, yeah.
I thought that was a really brilliant point. And again, I think we've said for like the last 3 years it was a make or break season. The break hasn't seemed.
But clearly it wasn't. And maybe A.J. Preller, I mean, I don't.
The guy could be great. He could have a grandfathered in legacy contract for life.
He doesn't feel like someone who GMs to save his job, because obviously he hasn't had to. And, he didn't do much. Like the first like 4 years of A.J. Preller's tenure, wasn't even really trying to win.
Yeah.
And clearly he had plenty of leeway to rebuild and do what he wanted, build up the farm system. And then when he went for it and started trading away prospects, had plenty of leeway to do that as well. It didn't go well in 2021 and 2023, kept his job again. So why would he start GMing for his job at this point? Unless he feels like with Peter Seidler gone,
that's it.
There's a reason that he's got to win this season. And if you have to win this season, Dylan Cease helps you win this season more than prospects who are still a year or two away. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt. And look, he got a lot of leeway with Ron Fowler, and he got a lot of leeway with Peter Seidler. And again, they're not looking at if you're basing it on how many games he's won as a GM and how many games he's lost as a GM, he probably wouldn't have a job, right? If that's solely what you're basing it on. But his ability to replenish and restock the farm is really great. I mean, there's no question about it. You can't say, I heard Dodger, you emptied the farm for Juan Soto. And hey, look, that trade, James Wood, the way he looks right now, Ben, the guy looks like he's potentially the next Barry Bonds. I mean, he looks unbelievable, but you had to give that away to get Juan Soto. So I still make that trade. I still pull that trigger. But he has the ability to replenish it, and he's done that. And so now he's got more guys that he can move. I don't feel like I feel like this year maybe more than most, they're going to be watching. There is you're not going to win the division, but you're still expected to compete, especially after last year.
I agree.
So.
Pat's 300 level pod says, perfect example is Dave Dombrowski with the Red Sox. People say he depleted the farm system, but no prospects he traded really panned out while acquiring pieces to help the Sox win the World Series in 2018. He also held on to the appropriate prospects in Betts, Benintendi, and Devers, among others.
Yeah.
It's all about picking the right guys. You have to, it's great to be able to build talent in your farm system, but the ultimate goal is then you have to identify which talent is a notch above the other ones, and the ones you have to keep and develop. Everybody else is tradable because they're not all going to make the big leagues. You got 30 you got a prospect list. You hear the Padres top 30 prospects in the minor leagues. They ain't all making the big leagues, not even close. Not even close. And if you just let them rot for a couple of years and then go away, well, you should have traded them for something that could have helped you now. And that's the decision that A.J. Preller's going to have to make here. We got R.J. on the phone. R.J., welcome to Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, listen, before I get into my Padres talk, I got to say something. In light of Do the Show, bitch, Pauley, can Pauley hear me?
Yeah, he can hear you.
Up?
Pauley, I love you. You're a great producer. I enjoy the show. But I got to ask you something.
Oh, boy.
We do 8 minutes of commercials, right? You got to sit for about 8 minutes. And then
5.
you got that intro with the, is it time to begin?
It's long,
Let
yeah.
the ceremony begin. Dude, that thing is 2 minutes long. So I got to wait for 10 minutes for more amazing content.
RJ, let me just fact check you here a
Why?
little bit. Let me just fact check you.
Just
Let
do
me.
the show, bitch.
RJ, are you there?
I'm here, yeah.
All right. We have 5-minute commercial breaks
Yes.
at the 15 and the 30 mark of the hour.
Yes.
Going into the top of the hour, like the break we just had, it's a 3-minute commercial break. And yes, that intro is about 1.5 minutes long.
It's my idea.
But it was Woods' idea, not me. So I think you
Always.
need to direct your attention to Woods.
If you have any issues with any of the music you hear on the show, you can
I
direct it
appreciate
to
that he
me.
wants
No, the
more of
music's
us.
amazing. The music is great. It's just $2 long. I want to hear more of you. It's a compliment. I want to hear more content.
That intro makes me excited. I have to have it.
I want
Okay.
Trevor Hoffman to start pitching on the second bell. I don't want him to have all this time running in.
He's like,
to
I'm
Hell's
ready.
Bells.
Come on.
Let's go.
All right.
Come on.
Okay.
We're here to
So-
watch you pitch,
That's
not
right.
just run in and listen to
good
this
point.
dang song to start
point.
watching you pitch.
That's a good point. I love RJ.
Nevertheless,
The second
all
bell.
right. So there, I said my piece.
Thank you, bud.
It rhymes with cease. Anyways, yeah, Dylan Cease, guys. It's a tough one because we need the pitching.
We do.
We need better than serviceable. We need veteran arms, and he would bring a lot of value. But man, at what cost? It's a tough one, guys. I have nothing to really add except to say that it's a neat problem that we're in, and we're going to have to deal with all this PTSD from last year. Have you noticed how much we've been so ultra critical of the Padres,
Oh.
and rightfully so?
100%.
They deserved it. But dude, we're so gun shy about anything they freaking do. They lose the first game. You guys have tons of calls. Oh, it's it.
Same
oh,
old, yeah.
23 again.
I know. Trust
but it's
me,
all right.
man.
I love the Padres, and more so, I love you guys.
Thank you, buddy. Love you too.
Thank you,
See you,
RJ.
RJ.
Appreciate
Bye.
it. We get so irrational about the prospects. I mean, imagine right now if they said, yeah, we'll give you Dylan Cease, but we're taking Jackson Merrill. We'd riot.
You'd riot.
We'd riot at the moment.
For what? For
'Cause
no reason.
He hasn't
Like,
even played, he hasn't
in my
played
head-
an inning in the big leagues.
In
and
my
we'd
head,
riot.
he's already no longer a prospect. He's our starting center
He's the
fielder.
starting. You just traded our starting center.
Hasn't-
That's two.
He has not played one inning
Yeah.
in the big leagues, and we would riot, which is ridiculous, of
I know
course.
by every sense of the word, he is still a prospect, but the fact that he will 99.9% sure be our starting center fielder this year, he's no longer a prospect in my brain.
Yeah, no,
Right?
he's not a prospect for
But
me.
he
either.
is.
But he is.
And there's
yeah.
no guarantee that he's going to turn out better. Maybe Robbie Snelling is going to turn out the best, or maybe it's Lesko or Thorpe, or it's Iriarte, or maybe it's someone we're not even talking about right now.
It's
That is
Homer
the
Bush,
that's
right?
the best prospect in the Padres
Junior.
system. Yeah, he appeared in the game yesterday as well. It could be that guy. We don't know for sure, and the problem is neither does A.J. Preller. Prospects are mysterious. They're just inherently
And neither
a
do
little
the
mysterious.
neither do the White Sox.
No.
You know what I mean? It's a crapshoot.
As
but
they proved when they traded Fernando Tatis Jr. to the Padres for James Shields.
Yep, 100%.
Believe me, if they had a crystal ball, that's not even something they would have dreamed of in a million billion years. But you just don't know with prospects.
Yeah, I just I just think at this point you're going up against the Yankees. You're going up against the Rangers and what they have to offer. Both teams in need. I just have the feeling that AJ and crew are like, no, we're good. We're gonna see what we have and maybe address something at the deadline. And if the White Sox don't get exactly what they want for Dylan Cease, they don't have to trade him either. They have 2 years left to control.
Correct.
I mean, they can trade him at the deadline.
Just as the Padres set a very high asking price for Ha-Sung Kim this offseason.
That's exactly right.
No one came close to matching it, so here's Ha-Sung Kim. They move him to shortstop, move Xander Bogaerts to second base. You are always adapting your plans.
There's a couple of pitchers still out there. I every day I keep waiting for the Blake Snell news to drop, and it just hasn't yet.
Well, the team that he has been fairly widely connected with is next up in our Tier 1 tour. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the post-Otani Angels, our next stop on the Tier 1 tour. We'll get to that. Coming up next with Ben and Woods, right back after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan. We started about 23 shows ago on our Tier 1 tour, way on the East Coast. We have made it all the way to the West Coast now as we wrap up the AL West and take a look at the Los Angeles Angels, who last season had another disappointing year, going 73 and 89, finishing fourth place in the American League West. And they did that with the American League Most Valuable Player putting up a incredibly historic season, both at the plate and on the mound.
And they had Mike Trout.
And they have Mike Trout, who didn't have a particularly Trout-esque season due to injuries, but they had both of those guys. Now they only have one of them, and it just doesn't seem like a team that is built to compete right now. In fact, the best thing the Angels have going for them, I think without a doubt, in 2024, is their manager, Ron Washington.
100%.
Nice addition. Everyone in the game seems to love Wash. And even if you've got a team that doesn't have a lot of promise, you feel like he's going to get the most out of that team this year. The problem, though, is that while the Angels, Woodsy, addressed the bullpen with 5 free agent signings in the offseason, I don't know how many leads that bullpen is going to get.
I don't either. I haven't seen a less inspiring starting 5 since maybe we talked about the Oakland Athletics, Ben. Reed Detmers, Griffin Canning, Patrick Sandoval, Tyler Anderson, and Chase Silseth. Now, there's some youth in Silseth. Detmers is pretty good. And also, if you look at their Fangraphs projections, I think they are massively generous for their offense. I think they're massively generous. Look at the home run total.
That's crazy.
Every one
of
in
them
double
has at
digits.
least 16 home projected for at least 16
15.
home runs.
16. Every single guy, 16 homers or above. Come on. They got Trout penciled in for 35 bombs. Drury penciled in for 24. They do have some young talent on that team. Their pitching is not going to keep them in many games. It's just not. I don't know how they're going to get through. Their projected win total, Ben, 72.5. That feels about right. That's not going to get them anywhere in that division at all. I do like Angels fans a lot. We have a few that listen to the show, and I know for years I had always said, man, I feel so bad for Angels fans. We are in danger of becoming the Angels at some point. So I may have to eat my words, and you know, a lot of guys that this is why you want to win a championship in the next 3 to 4 years if you're a San Diego Padre fan, because you don't want to get to that point where you have to potentially move a international superstar to just clear payroll and not get anything back for him. You don't want to have to get to the point where your aging superstar, I don't know what we can count on him for this year, and he never won a ring, and he has very few playoff appearances. It's so tough. It's so tough, and I do sympathize.
They're expected to get a lot of playing time for their most recent first-round draft picks, 2022 first-round choice Zach Neto.
Yeah, good player.
At shortstop, and then at first base, last year's first-round draft pick, Nolan Shanuel. Is that how you say it? I'm not even sure.
I'm going to go with that.
Okay, fair enough.
I heard them say it the other day on the broadcast, and I said, make a mental note. I like to say it Shanuel.
Shanuel.
Because it sounds cooler.
Sounds more like a Christmas carol.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Shanuel.
That's a sign of the anonymousness of the team. Now, they have been rumored to be interested in signing Blake Snell, but as we talked about with the Red Sox, they're not a Blake Snell away from winning a division. Right. Now, if you want to project in a year or two, you know, you still want to have Blake Snell around as potentially an ace of the rotation when you hope that some of the younger guys are burgeoning and developing into something that could lead you to the postseason. I can understand that argument. If I'm Blake Snell, though, that's a tough sell. I mean, they better be offering the most money if I'm going to the Los Angeles Angels, because you know you're joining a team that has very little chance of having a winning record, much less competing for a playoff spot in this first season. And given the track record of the last decade with two of the biggest stars in baseball and, you know, 0 trips to the postseason, that's a tough sell for any general manager going, hey, we want you to join this up-and-coming team. Really?
I mean, offensively, they do have some potential breakout stars. And
you can say the same thing about the Padres.
100%.
Yeah, at least the Padres have 2 playoff appearances in the last 4 years.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It is really, really tough.
It makes me so sad that we're like really on the the twilight of Mike Trout's career.
Yeah.
And just, I feel robbed as a baseball fan, not seeing big October moments from him.
72.5 wins.
Maybe Anthony Rendon will return to MVP form this year.
I mean, what do they got him projected at? What do they have him at? Like 40 homers or something? Like,
I think games played is the most exciting projection for Anthony Rendon.
It's the first thing that jumped out.
They
at
have
me.
him for 560 plate appearances, which I think I'm going
It's a stretch.
under,
Take the under
on that one
How many
for
bombs?
sure. 16.
Okay, that's fair, I guess.
Which isn't a great season in 560 plate appearances.
At 38 million or whatever they're paying him. Holy cow. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a rough one for Angels fans, and you do wonder, man, if that deadline comes creeping. Mike Trout to somebody, a contender, at the deadline. Could this be the year that happens? They did not get rid of Shohei Ohtani. They did not extend Shohei Ohtani. He's now a Dodger. They have ruined baseball, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So I'm forever going to put it on.
I will say, Padres would have been happy if they had kept Brandon Drury around as a designated hitter.
It may go down as one of our bigger mistakes is not paying Brandon Drury. Guy can hit. He can hit. So.
Yep.
They got him projected to have a really good year as well. So we'll see what happens with the Angels. But 72.5 feels about right. I could see them winning 70 games. So I might take the under there.
But, if everyone hit their projections, they'd easily go over 70.
Oh, yeah. The projections seem really high for them. Maybe they know something we don't know. That wouldn't surprise me either.
All right. When we return on our next Tier 1 tour, I believe we move into the serious business of the National League West and the other teams in the division. So we will count them down until the opening day next Wednesday when the Padres start their season against the Dodgers. All right, let's take a time out. Sammy Spring Training is scheduled to join us. He was a content machine yesterday with what was going on. I have no idea this morning if there's been any news yet out of the Padres camp as to the 31-man traveling party. But clearly Mike Schultz said they were making those decisions yesterday. And at the very least, he will announce those sometime later this morning, I would think. We'll see what Sammy knows when he joins us from Peoria, Arizona. Coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Everybody knows Tony Kornheiser. Woods, you know Tony Kornheiser?
I do.
But to get him unfiltered, check out the Tony Kornheiser Show podcast.
I've been waiting.
The iconic host of PTI is a roller coaster of wit and wisdom.
When I see him on TV, I think to myself, this is good, but I need it unfiltered. Like Kornheiser regular is good, but to get it unfiltered is, I don't know.
Unleash your curiosity
Okay.
and join the conversation. Follow the Tony Kornheiser Show on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And it's unfiltered, you said?
Unfiltered,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
They have taken out the filters.
I wish we could be unfiltered almost more than anything.
With a little bits get through that usually gets stopped by the filters.
I would give up a significant amount of my salary to be able to say whatever I wanted and how I wanted
It would
to
send the
say it.
show into
to the stratosphere. The stratosphere.
I don't mind being filtered.
I can't stand not being able to curse. I can't stand it. The older I get, the more I want to curse.
I have self-filters, I guess.
I know. But there's a thing they say, like if you don't curse, you don't trust somebody that doesn't curse, which means you're very untrustworthy.
Really?
Very, yes. Yes. I don't know what the reasoning is behind it. Have I ever heard Sammy
If you were a
curse?
radio program director and wanted to trust someone not to curse on the air, I feel like I'd be very trustworthy.
100%.
You a little less trustworthy when it comes to that.
But I've only had one slip up in
Once.
14 years.
That's right.
One F-bomb got through, and it just happened. I just went, oh, that guy's an effing what? Oh, my God. That's so weird. But no, I feel like I'm...
I remember I was off that day. I was somewhere. I was on vacation.
Who was on?
I don't
Italian
know,
Paul?
but I came back and heard about this, and I go, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
what?
it was very strange. I feel the older I get, the more I need to emphasize things with curse words. Sorry.
I wonder if Sammy has ever slipped on the air. I bet not.
I'm trying to think if I've ever heard him say a bad word.
I can't think of it.
I can't. We had lunch with him.
he's
I
like
think
me.
he did at lunch. Yeah.
I think he did at lunch. Yeah. We will be joined by Sammy Spring Training right after this check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Couple of problems here northbound 125 past the King Freeway. There is a collision blocking the fast lane. Also northbound 5 past the 15, collision over to the right shoulder. In Hillcrest, accident 5th Avenue and Washington Street. Motorcycle involved in this, not showing if lanes are blocked. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us right now, as he has done the last month from Peoria, Arizona, with all of our live Padres spring training coverage presented by your San Diego County Toyota Dealers Association. We make it easy. It's Sammy Spring Training. Sam Levitt is with us, and he asks the great questions that elicit the great answers and the great laughs from Mike Schultz. Actually, Sammy, that was a really good question yesterday about kind of the difference between making the 31-man traveling squad and the 26-man final roster. And will players know, like, before they go, hey, you're coming with us, we're not expecting you to be on the squad, or, yeah, you're still competing for a job in these last couple of spring training games? We don't really know. Mike didn't really answer the question, but my goodness, the answer was a legendary one nonetheless.
I didn't quite expect Mike to give a definitive answer, but I did think it was worth asking because I think it's an interesting scenario, right? Will a guy who, let's say, hasn't made his major league debut yet, will he be told he's just going to Korea and maybe he'll be active for those 2 games? Or will he be told that he is going to be on the 26-man roster? Because there's a big difference between those 2 things. But I wasn't surprised we didn't get an answer. I'm happy we got the laugh and that you guys have found a way to use it. But I don't know that we'll have more clarity on that today. I certainly expect that we'll know exactly who is part of that 31-person traveling party who's going to Korea. But we'll see in the coming days then, obviously, who makes the active roster, who doesn't. But a worthwhile question, I thought, nonetheless.
Sammy, you ever drop an F-bomb on the air?
No.
Okay. What about an S-bomb?
No, I've never cursed on the air.
You've cursed
Nothing
off
that ever had. Well, of course I've cursed.
Well, you say,
off
of
the
course.
air.
Ben doesn't curse off air. That's
He
why
doesn't.
he doesn't do it. It's not because he's a broadcaster. He just doesn't curse. He
Well,
was losing it at golf the other day. I heard a dang it, maybe even a damn it, maybe even a damn it was in
Dang
there.
it.
He missed a putt and he really wanted to beat Steve, and I think I heard a damn it in there. It was shocking.
I believe when we got lunch at Chompy's, I would imagine that I let a curse word fly.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I think
yeah,
so.
I do remember that for sure.
Yeah. So you get a little everything bagel in me, and just wild things start happening.
That's the secret sauce. Hey, buddy, why don't you have another one of these and start telling me your secrets?
So according to Mike
serum.
Schultz, the decisions were all made yesterday. They know who's going with them to Korea at this point, and presumably the players know. Do we know, like, will Mike be saying it like this morning, or are they going to release a list or anything? Did they give you an idea of what the plan is for today?
Quite honestly, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be an official list of what the traveling party is. I'm not sure if Mike Schultz in a little bit more than an hour is going to say definitively who is going, who's not going. I don't know if they're going to wait until after the game to do that, but I do anticipate we'll know what that list is today. It did sound, and Mike didn't definitively say it yesterday, but just based on the answer about Jackson Merrill, which, again, he did not definitively say that Jackson's the starting center fielder, but he got very close to it. I think it's safe to assume at this point. But I think based on that answer and based on, let's be honest, just some of the logistics here, I would imagine that everybody who's going to Korea knows that at this point, whether that's made clear, definitive, official by the team this morning or when that is today. I'm not totally sure at this point, to be honest with you, but I would highly, highly assume that everybody who knows they're going to Korea or who is going to Korea knows at this point.
Sammy, that news will come down at 10:04 as soon as we walk out of the studio this morning. They'll probably release that 31-man Korea roster. 'Cause that's usually how it works around here. Talking to our pal Sammy Levitt, live at Padres Spring Training. Loved what I saw yesterday. I was hyping up Drew Thorpe yesterday, and he went out and delivered. Sammy, I really, really like that kid a lot, and think he's going to be – I think he could be really, really good. I hope he's on that plane, man, heading to Korea.
Yeah, I think what really stood out about yesterday is that he clearly didn't have his best stuff. He wasn't as sharp as he's been in the past, whether that be on a backfield or in a Cactus League game. And that's something he talked about after the game. It's something Mike Schultz talked about after the game. But even with that said, he was able to go out there and put up 4 scoreless innings, which is a great sign, right? Because during the course of the regular season, more days than not, you're not going to have your best stuff, and you have to find a way to get through it. And he did. There's no way around it, Woodsy. Thorpe had a really, really good spring here. Whether he's on that plane to Korea or not, I'm not sure. Look, the reality with him is he's had 1 year of professional baseball. His numbers last year in the Yankee system were really, really good. He certainly picked up right where he left off this spring, which is great. It's great. And look, I think it's a definite possibility if he goes to the minor leagues at the start of the year and continues to do what he's done. There's a definite possibility Drew Thorpe is somebody we could see at some point this season. He wasn't sure after the game what exactly was next for him. Again, I assume we'll find that out later today. But regardless of whether he's on the plane to Korea, whether he's sticking around here in minor league camp, I think it has been a really impressive spring for Drew Thorpe. He said all the right things. He's very businesslike in the way he's out there on the mound and the way he talks with the media. Obviously the changeup is a really important pitch for him. He doesn't shy away from that. It's a pitch that, guys know it's coming, and they've had a lot of trouble with it. And now
Sounds familiar, yeah.
He's really used it effectively against now some higher-level competition. So no doubt a really, really good spring for him. And I think somebody that has to be on the radar if this team needs starting pitching help at some point during the season. I don't think it's out of the question at all that we could see Drew Thorpe at some point. So that part of the trade so far for the Padres, at least to this point, it's been everything I think they could have wanted from him.
Sammy Spring Training is with us, and following up from yesterday, I know you were asking some of the guys how they plan to spend their 14-hour flight. Jurickson Profar going to play FIFA soccer with Manny Machado, but I also saw the actual science kind of behind what the Padres are doing. Wrote about it in the UT today, like cherry juice and magnesium and changing the lighting and oxygen levels to try to get guys to sleep early but stay awake late in the flight. They put a lot of thought into this, and I wondered if you've gleaned anything else about the actual logistics of this trip to Korea for the team, Sam.
It's triambient.
I still have to read the piece in the UT. I did hear a little bit of that over the last couple of weeks, that there were going to be some kind of different and specific things they did. Hey, if I were on the flight today, I'd be able to give you a full report. So next time,
Sneak
let's
on.
make sure we get on those,
are they checking IDs? You might be able to sneak on.
Man, they might be able to hop on. But yeah, look, I think I don't know the specifics beyond what was written in the UT, to be honest with you. But look, it's an undertaking, no doubt. I mean, 14, 15-hour flight. You got to, play 2 exhibition games. We'll see who plays in those, 2 real games. Then you come back, and everything coming up after that back in San Diego. So it's an undertaking. It's definitely an odd way to start the year. It feels to me like a lot of guys are taking it in stride. I mean, I know I talked to Profar about it yesterday, and he was joking about him and Manny playing FIFA, on the laptop with the video game controllers. I talked to one coach yesterday that didn't seem too enthused about, or I should say, I asked, hey, you ready for the flight? And they were like, I don't know. So look, it's a long flight, and that length of flight, is not for everybody, not everybody's favorite thing, which you understand. But you got to do what you got to do. I think a lot of these guys understand it's part of the deal this year, and they got to figure out a way to get it done. So I got to read the piece in the UT. I haven't read it yet, but I'm not sure of the specifics beyond whatever was reported in there.
Yeah, as somebody that has issues sleeping and staying asleep, the tart cherry juice and magnesium bit, I've tried it all. Didn't work for me. Not saying it won't work for these finely tuned athletes, but whatever floats your boat.
Oxygen levels, light levels. I mean, they're taking it very seriously.
They are.
Now, it's good that they don't have to play 30 minutes after they land. They've got a couple of exhibition games. They got almost a week to...
Which like those trips, they were talking about it in that article, they'll fly into New York, land there 3 a.m. by the time they get to their hotel.
Over the course of the season, they're going to spend hundreds of hours on planes.
Well, no one's traveling more than the San Diego Padres this year. That's been established.
More than the Dodgers,
more than everybody. Yeah, we're going to have...
Total air miles. Usually it's the Mariners that have the most, because they don't even have a Dodgers or an Angels who are kind of close. They have to fly minimum to, I think, San Francisco to get to any road trip.
Yeah, my excuse built in for if the Padres miss the playoffs.
I got all my narratives ready.
That's why the Dodgers are only going to win 62 games this year as well, I'm sure, because of all the travel that they had to do. So, all right, so this last game, the A's, I haven't seen a lineup, Sammy. I'm guessing it's not going to be filled with regulars on this last day. Anything you're looking for on the final day of spring training?
Yeah, we'll see what the lineup looks like. I mean, a few days ago, Mike Schultz indicated it could be possible that you could see some regulars play 3 days in a row. I don't know what the likelihood of that really is. Do you really need guys playing today before they head on a flight? So we'll see who's in the lineup. But, yeah, it could be more of a quote-unquote B-type lineup and get some younger guys in there a little bit earlier than usual. The one thing I'll tell you, Michael King is scheduled to throw today in an intra-squad game, so he's going to stay on schedule, and obviously that's significant because from what was said yesterday in the last couple of days, it really sounds like in all likelihood Michael King's going to appear in one of those games in Korea, and the Padres are going to construct their bullpen a little bit differently. They may carry a pitcher less because they've got some starters in there who could eat up some more innings. Now, as far as guys in the back end, let's live in hypothetical world that it's Johnny Brito and Matt Waldron. It's unclear at this point whether those guys would pitch in the exhibition games or they wouldn't appear in those and maybe be available in relief, but it does seem like Michael King is in all likelihood going to get some work at some point during those 2 games. Obviously, it's a little bit more than getting some work because they're real games and it's against the LA Dodgers. Yeah. But it appears that way, that he's going to play a factor out of the bullpen in those 2 games. So he does pitch today on a backfield. So he's going to stay on schedule with what he's been doing, and obviously they've got to ramp him up properly for the season, even beyond the Korea game. So that's something of note today. But beyond that, we'll see if there are any regulars in the lineup. If not, we play the final game here and then see what decisions come down. Again, I think it's important to note, for as funny as the answer was from Mike Schultz yesterday, the Padres don't have to make those active roster decisions today, right? So we may know a thing or two about who's not going, but we still in the coming days may be talking about, okay, well, who's on the bench and who's not, right? And who's playing third base and who's not. But we could get a step closer to clarity on that, obviously, with the names that come out today. And we'll see. I don't know if that'll be this morning, but as always, stay tuned to our social media and here on 97.3 The Fan, and we'll tell you.
Sammy, thank you so much. Now, what happens the next couple of days? Because you're obviously there through the showcase game on Friday.
We were texting about that earlier, me and Sammy.
But there won't be like any Schilt pressers or scrums. I mean, it's going to be kind of empty and lonely around there the rest of the week.
Yeah, I don't know that I'll come to the complex tomorrow. I was thinking about maybe checking out some minor league stuff tomorrow. We'll see.
Can you make sure that you go to the complex at least once, since we're paying for it?
Well, I believe that I'm going to be on the 10 a.m. roundtable tomorrow.
Oh, God, I just remembered
You're taking Tony Gwynn Jr.'s place because he's going to be on the flight to Korea.
I'm taking somebody's place.
How about you take my place every week? I'll be happy to give it up to you. I'm happy to give it up to you.
I'm going to be on there tomorrow, and then
expect me to go to you often, then, Sammy.
Yeah.
And then Friday we got the spring breakout game, which will be fun, and do that game at 1:00, and then head out Saturday morning. So
safe travels.
We'll see what the next couple of days hold. We'll see.
Drive.
Also, by the way, one final thing. Hey, Tony Kornheiser, a fellow Hewlett High School alum.
Excellent. Well,
was he unfiltered at Hewlett High School? Yeah, I think you weren't there at the same time, I'm guessing.
No.
So.
I'm just excited to get him unfiltered after all these years of filtered Tony Kornheiser.
So watch what you say about Tony Kornheiser.
I'm a Tony Kornheiser fan. I'm a Tony Kornheiser fan. Safe travels, Sammy. Drive safely.
And we will see you at 7 Mile Casino at 3 a.m. next week, right?
Yeah, we will.
Wait, one funny thing. I'm going to do the pregame and postgame from the studio, but it was mentioned to me, hey, if you want to come down to the
we'll be there
during the game, I don't know that I'm doing that.
I wouldn't. Please don't feel any pressure to come down.
That's right. He'll be here 2 to 3 a.m. and then 6 to 7 a.m. in the studio. But you can come by and get a bite to eat, like 4 a.m., watch some of the game with us, and then come back.
Come down, see your legion of fans.
It's a little more than 7 minutes from here because we're more by Mission Valley, but it's not many more than 7 minutes away from where we are. So, Sammy, appreciate it as always. Thank you.
Have fun, buddy.
All right, Sammy Spring Training joining us. Who knows? Maybe last time before he comes back to San Diego. We'll see. Well, we'll talk to him on the roundtable tomorrow, which I am very excited about, more than Woods perhaps.
Yeah, because you get to host it.
Oh, would you like to host the roundtable? I cede
actually, I would. Actually, I would.
I'd listen to a Woods hosted roundtable.
I would do it.
All right, we'll come back. Reindl Report, final hour. Then what's next on the Fan?
Do you really think I can't ask him? You, the master of, you don't mind imposing.
I know that I would be uncomfortable if you asked me to do this.
Why? All right. So if you don't know, if you watch on the stream, I have the Zen nicotine salt in my lip, and California has banned the flavored ones, and I like the cinnamon ones. Pauley likes the wintergreen. I like the cinnamon. So we buy them in Arizona. I bought a bunch when I was there. I didn't get as many as I should, and I ran out. I don't have any more cinnamon. So I have to go to this generic, weird, what would you say the flavor is of these? Steel? Tin? It's a weird flavor. And it is. It's weird. Pauley, what would you say these other? It's like,
they're just
Zen Chill.
nothing.
It is. What does chill taste like? Ice? It tastes like ice. So I said to Ben, maybe I could have Sammy stop on the way back and bring me some more. He goes, no.
Don't ask him to
Don't
do that.
ask him to do that. And I said, why not? It's not smack he's buying.
I get it.
Hey, will you buy me a speedball?
You have to ask the person behind the counter for. You can't just go and take it yourself. You have to specifically.
In what product do you get to walk in, take it yourself, and just walk out?
But I mean, it's different though when you have to actually like specify to the person behind the counter. Like I'd be uncomfortable if someone said, "Can you go buy me a pack of Marlboros?" I've never smoked a day in my life. It'd be weird.
You are
to go
almost
into a
50
convenience
years old.
store and buy a pack of cigarettes.
If I said to you, Benny, you're coming over later. Stop on the way, grab a 6-pack of Coors Light and a pack of Marlboro Lights.
I'd be uncomfortable.
You wouldn't do that?
You are kidding me.
I
What
mean,
would make you uncomfortable about it?
I don't know. That person obviously
It's not
would
a
think
hustler.
that you're probably
Or a
that guy's
barely
That guy's
legal.
a smoker.
Who cares? You're a grown man.
But I'm not a smoker. I don't want to give the wrong impression.
You've
I'm
bought
a public figure.
You've bought a nudie mag before. I promise you have. You had to go up to the counter and say, "I'd like to get this big
has he?
jugs or whatever."
Has he?
Yes, he admitted it on Has Been Ever that he's bought a nudie magazine.
Right.
I'll
Once.
take that jugs, please.
It was literally once.
Was it jugs?
No.
What was it?
You don't want to know.
Yes, I do.
Turn the
More
mic
than anything
up.
in the world.
Turn the mic. You're disgusting.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's hardcore as you can get.
You monster.
It's as hardcore as you can get. Jacob says he agrees with Ben. So I have to drive to Yuma. Basically, is what you're telling.
Yes.
6 hours in the car.
That's what it's there for, Woods.
Holy cow. All right.
Just quickly, because while Sammy was doing an interview, I had to respond to a trade suggestion tweet from our old friend John Boy, who is a delusional Yankees fan.
He is.
Who suggested
God.
that perhaps
he has a three-way trade.
A three-way trade where the Yankees could get Michael King back from the Padres, the White Sox would get Dylan Lesko from the Padres, and the Padres would then get Dylan Cease.
Wait, say it again.
So the White Sox get Dylan Lesko and Yankees prospect Brock Selvage.
Okay.
The Yankees get Michael King back from the Padres, and then the Padres get Dylan Cease. Why would the Padres do that? So
they give up Lesko, who they love.
They give up King, who they
who's
love.
They're three.
To get Cease, who's coming off not a great season. And you can argue that maybe Cease is an upgrade to King just because he's has more innings under his belt, and the Padres need that. But the only value for Cease would be adding him to a rotation that already has King.
Correct.
If you're subtracting from
King
your rotation,
it makes no sense.
You're not helping your cause any. And to give up your top pitching prospect in order to maybe just tinily, marginally improve your starting rotation makes zero sense at all for the Padres, which I pointed out.
They're in desperation mode right now.
Yankees are.
Oh,
Pitching-wise,
dude.
yeah.
Well, they had Aaron Judge, too.
Had an MRI.
Had an MRI on his ribs, and Aaron Boone came out and said, the quote was amazing. He's mid-spring training beat up. Like, what? You've been out there for 3 weeks or whatever. Like, he's already banged up. I was texting my buddy Matty yesterday, and he goes, I'm almost done with this team. Every year, it's one after the other. Guys just go down. It's just nuts. So they're being pretty quiet about the Garrett Cole thing, but you have to imagine, Ben, if Garrett Cole is done, so goes their season. I know he throws every fifth day, and they got Stroman, and But he said Rodon absolutely fleeced the Yankees. They're toast.
It's I think Alden Gonzalez from ESPN was on with Gwen and Chris yesterday, and they asked, is it possible the Padres can end up winning this trade? And Alden said, well, not this year. I mean, Juan Soto's going to have a big year. But when you look at all the pitching they got and the control that they've got, it's absolutely possible that the Yankees are going to regret, especially if they don't re-sign Juan Soto, that they're going to regret this trade for Juan Soto. And if they don't have the pitching to make Juan Soto impactful this year, it clearly is a terrible trade for the Yankees. They need to make the playoffs, make a deep playoff run, or essentially – they've given up a ton of pitching for, I mean, the enjoyment of watching Juan Soto for a few months that didn't actually lead to anything. We had that experience.
We did.
Wasn't that fun last year?
It was not that fun
last year. You want to have a year like the Padres had last year, Yankees? Go right ahead. We did not enjoy that very much.
It was not fun.
Even though Juan Soto was very good, watching him lead a team to a mediocre finish and a non-playoff season ain't a lot of fun.
You know, though, I will say, if Judge ends up on the shelf or banged up and not healthy, why would you throw Juan Soto one pitch? You won't.
And Juan Soto, we know, won't swing.
He will not swing
the pitches if he doesn't like them.
So, I mean,
yeah, he'll walk a lot.
He will walk a lot. Or he'll try to do what every player that's gone to the Yankees, it's a left-hander, does, and tries to yak balls out of
we saw him spend a month and a half rolling over balls
100%.
Onto the right side.
100%.
Is there a guarantee that won't happen for him in New York for a while?
It happens to every left-hander there. Every single one is like, oh, mama, time to pull one down the line. So he's not immune to the allure of the 300-foot porch in right field, certainly. But, yeah, I mean, if Aaron Judge is hurt and Garrett Cole's hurt, you're toast. You're toast.
All right, Pauley's got a very interesting topic of discussion to get to in a Reindl Report that might even carry over for a second segment. Let's get to it.
Get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah? Oh yeah.
All right. Gentlemen, this Reindl Report segment is kind of just a way for us to get to a couple of stories in sports that we haven't really either had the time for or didn't really want to devote an entire segment to them. So we'll kind of combine a couple of news and notes from the NFL. The league year starts this afternoon, I believe.
Correct, 1 o'clock our time.
1 o'clock today, the 2024, the new NFL league year starts. But we've had a bunch of reported signings, trades all over the place for the last few days.
1 or 2,
yeah. 1 or 2. Kirk Cousins, we didn't mention him yesterday. He is going to be the new quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, signing a 4-year deal. And the numbers were just staggering for me.
Staggering.
$180 million for 4 years, $100 million guaranteed. I don't know how Kirk Cousins does this. I mean, he got franchise tagged more than a couple of times, especially when he was with the Commanders. And that gets you, it's the average of the top 5 players at your position. So that explains why he got paid pretty highly early. But he has signed so many massive contracts. And quite frankly, I don't get it. I don't think he's that.
He's 35 years old.
He's the most average of average quarterbacks.
Now, for the Atlanta Falcons, he's better than what they've had before.
He's certainly better.
In a winnable division, he actually might help them win the division. And if that's what you're going for, I can see the argument.
He hasn't won anything in his career, and it shocked me that he once again made a ridiculous payday. I mean, we were talking about it during the break.
$100 million guaranteed.
I would rather,
at 35 years old.
If I'm a GM in the NFL, I'd rather pay Russell Wilson $2 million. Of
course.
If you're
the Broncos paying him $38.
If you're a parent of a child who plays football, and you are hoping like, hey, they're a really good athlete, I want them to get to the next level, There's no point in playing any position other than quarterback.
Correct.
Right.
I mean, why would anybody be a running back? Saquon Barkley, one of the greatest of his generation, is getting like $4 to play for the Eagles.
in Philly.
And Kirk Cousins is getting $100 million guaranteed to play for the Falcons. Who's going to take more punishment over the course of the deal? The running back. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but the quarterback value is ridiculous right now. And the Falcons needed one, so they had to pay through the nose to get the quarterback they wanted.
It's so funny, too, because in the NFL, in baseball now, 35 years old, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done. You're begging for a job, a minor league deal.
Also, if you're an average pitcher, you're making 10 times what you were making not that long ago.
Right. At 35 years old in the NFL, they're like, we'll sign you to a four-year deal to play quarterback for us. I mean, it's very lucrative. He has made so much money in his career.
Derrick Henry to the Ravens was interesting.
That's interesting, dude.
Putting him on a good team there. That I wonder how that goes. Sam Darnold is going to replace Cousins on the Vikings. Good luck, Kevin O'Connell there. And then, Saquon to the Eagles. That's an interesting move for them to go out and get him. And there were about 38 other moves as well.
Another NFL story here. The Kansas City Chiefs, back-to-back Super Bowl champions. How do you go for the three-peats is what they're asking themselves. And Patrick Mahomes helping them out just a little bit. He signed that massive contract not too long ago, and he's already restructured it. He's restructuring his contract. It's going to create just over $21 million of salary cap space for Kansas City as they look to continue to build up their roster and go for that three-peat.
I need your Patrick Mahomes voice saying you're going to spend that on a wide receiver, right?
I can't do it on command. It has to be. I can't.
You can't do the
I can't do
a
it.
wide receiver.
There you go. Let Pauley.
It's like I hope he gets it in writing.
Give me some help.
Yes, I will restructure. You have to go and get me a wide receiver. I know we won the Super Bowl, but please, just a little bit more help this year would be nice. Thank you.
What did I read about that? He's getting like a lump sum payment instead of game checks. Isn't it?
Yeah, when
minimal?
they convert it to bonus money,
it's so hard.
It gets spread out more on the cap. Somehow, the
weird.
NFL cap is
the NBA and the NFL.
Impenetrable.
It's
very hard to understand.
How many mistakes would I make?
I sort of understand baseball's, NBA, NFL's is very hard to grasp.
You're $7 billion over budget in the cap. What did you do? I don't know.
I know the LA Chargers are still $25 million over the cap, and they got to get down by this afternoon. So it means Keenan Allen, Bosa, Khalil Mack, or multiple of those guys have got to go today.
Got to go or restructure?
No, they got to get rid of them probably.
Oh,
They've already restructured what they can restructure. I think they're going to have to cut
Before
at least one of them.
Mahomes made his restructuring, he was going to count for more than $58 million against the cap. So, smart move. I mean, he's got more money than he's going to know what to do.
He's doing the
with
Tom Brady thing now. Like, hey, I'm just going to win as many Super Bowls as possible, and if that means I make a little less money and cost less against the cap, so be it. I'll make it back in endorsements in my career.
All right. And then finally, I think monster behavior at a grocery store. There was a TikTok going around of a woman explaining what she saw in the produce section. We've all, grabbed an avocado or something. You kind of feel it, squeeze it, make sure it's ripe or not, but I have never seen anyone do this with a different fruit such as this.
Okay, so I just went and grabbed some groceries, and please tell me if this is normal. A lady walked over and she's standing in front of me of the blueberries and strawberries and Woolworths, and she opened up the blueberries and started touching them.
Like a plastic container of blueberries.
After she squeezed the blueberries, she put them back and did it to another two punnets until she grabbed the one she wanted and walked away.
It's Australian.
Is that normal?
All right.
Squeezed. I like squeezed.
Squeezed. I do it.
So
all right, I
the
do it.
plastic containers
you
of
got to open
fruit.
it. I do it to the grapes.
Grapes,
on
blackberries.
the outside.
I don't
You
really
do?
like to see anyone touching the fruit at the grocery store.
I do it on the outside of the bag of grapes. You have to feel them to make sure that they're
I think you can go visually and you
cannot.
can see what fruits
cannot.
are good
I agree
and what
with
are
Ben.
not.
You absolutely cannot.
You don't need to touch everything.
It's through the plastic bag. Their grapes come in a bag.
They usually have little holes in the bag, though.
Sure. Somebody's got to put those grapes on the deal. They don't, you know what I mean? They don't drop them in by helicopter. Somebody grabs the bag, they put it on, they stack it up, they move them around. Somebody's touching your stuff anyway. If you don't wash your fruit, you're psychotic anyway.
I mean, if you've got there's a thick skin on it, like an avocado, Pauley mentioned.
Right, you can grab that.
You kind of have to. If you need one for tonight, like your wife says, we need an avocado for the salad, needs to be ripe. You can't get the one that's going to be 4 days away from being ripe. So I get that. You have to touch that one.
You cannot visually tell if grapes are firm or
But people who
soft.
just walk around like touching the apples and then touching the pears and just touching everything is weird, and I don't think you should be doing it at the supermarket.
When I heard that clip, I was thinking like a plastic container of blackberries, raspberries,
I don't open that up. Those you eyeball and hope for the best.
That's monster behavior. If
Right,
you
'cause you
open
can't
that up, pop it
feel-
open, and start grabbing the berries.
So one of the best things about being tall, when I go and buy berries, which I did a lot at Costco, I can see further back and high. Usually there's because people, the ones that are right in front, they'll take all the good ones, and all you've got is kind of the green and nasty looking ones. But the farther you go back and higher up that I can see and they can't, you'll find good ones. So bring like a step ladder or a tall friend with you to shop for berries at Costco. But I don't touch them.
Don't all of you guys wash your fruit? Like, it shouldn't be an issue at all. Somebody's touched their butthole. Sorry, Adam. Touched their butt and grabbed all of that fruit and put it on the deal. If you,
I rinse, but how much can you? I mean, it's just a little. How much water can you wash over a berry? If someone's touched it and got their germs on it, is a sprinkling of water going to take that germ off?
I mean,
you really should be touching it as little as possible until it gets eaten.
How do you?
I mean, you can't soap it up, and I mean, it's not like
there is like fruit wash, but I don't.
It's not
use
like
that. I
hand
use
washing
water.
where it's 20 seconds with soap and warm water. It's fruit. All you can do is rinse it with like a sprinkling of water.
I'd like to do a test and bring in 3 bags of grapes, and you look at them and tell me, "Oh, those are the firm ones." There's no way.
I think I can definitely pick better grapes
with your eyeballs.
Yeah,
no chance. Grapes are shoddy these days. They are shoddy.
You can see the ones that are starting to kind of go, that are a bit withered and wrinkled, and those aren't good. And then there's the nice, lush, round grapes that you can tell are firm and delicious.
Adam's going to be mad at me because I said...
I know. Yeah. Don't say it again.
Did you dump it?
No.
Oh, all right. Well, it's true. You'd like to think that it's not true. It's true.
I mean, like bananas, you don't need to touch them.
Yeah, you can eyeball a banana.
You can see.
Yeah,
it's green. It's yellow. It's turning black.
We have a lineup, and it's it might shock you.
All right, we will get to that coming up next. We've also got some
God.
Legion tickets to give away in our next segment. If you've got any thoughts on touching produce at the supermarket, go ahead, share it with us. 833-288-0973. It's Ben and Woods back after traffic on 97.3 The Fan. A lot of comments here on produce and whether or not you
Shocker.
should touch it in the store. Let's see. We've got Jesus, who says his coworkers have given him a bunch of S for removing grapes from a bag because he didn't want to buy the entire 5-pound bag. Have you ever taken, like, you only wanted 3 bananas, so you ripped off half of them, like a thing of bananas? I think you if it's 6, you got to buy 6. You can't be altering the bunch of bananas either.
I couldn't agree more. Hang on.
Johnny just eats a grape and tries it and then decides to buy it or not, which I actually have less problem than touching it and then not buying it. I think what I'm worried about is people are touching the grapes and then not buying them and leaving them there. If you actually grab a grape, eat it, and you go, oh, that's fine, and then you take the whole bag and you buy it, perfect. I don't have a huge problem with that, but Woods thinks that's not sanitary.
What is it? What don't
eating a grape like at the store, just to check and see if that's the.
So you're fine
bunch.
eating a grape, but not touching a grape.
Well, I'm
How
fine
do you
with
get
other
it? Do you
people
just
eating grapes.
get it?
I'd rather have them take it and eat it, so it's not still sitting there after they've touched it and handled it.
But I go over it's like over the shirt doesn't count. I go over like Araldus. I go over the shirt with the grapes. I get a nice feel of it and go, ooh, no, these are not as firm as I'd like. Probably the same thing Araldus Chapman said last night.
Through the plastic. Matt in Claremont has some thoughts on produce touching. Hi, Matt.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Steve, Woodsy, as long as you're touching the grapes through the plastic.
Through the plastic.
But the one that kills me, the one that makes me want to commit a criminal act, is when I see the psychopaths ripping open the corn husk to check out the corn.
I've never seen that.
It's $1 an ear.
It's $1. I've never seen it.
I've seen that.
You have? I've never seen that. I buy the pre-packaged, already peeled 4-pack of corn.
You don't
Peeling
want to
corn's
deal
a
with
nightmare. The strings.
all over
And by the way, my kids, can you get the strings off here? I'm like, oh, I hate this so much. They love corn. They love corn. But I'm not hand shucking.
Oh, we are
their
so
corn.
spoiled in the year 2024.
We really are.
Pre-shucked corn.
Yeah, do you shuck your own corn? Because I sure don't.
I
And that
have.
is
I certainly have.
I have too. That's one of the best words in the English language. Shuck.
Shuck.
Get in the kitchen and shuck that corn. I'm going to start making my kids
It's
shuck
like two
their
bad
own.
words combined
It
together
really is.
into a
It
non-bad
really is.
word.
It's
like fit.
What about Bob? Faye,
Is this
corn
hand
shucked?
So good. I'm going to start making them shuck their own corn in my home. The strings make me nuts. They make me nuts.
But we'll say shuck off.
Yeah. It's so hard not to slip. BKG
Shuck.
says he just tries a grape. I need to get a sense of all of them because you can get one good one. The fruit, I'm very particular about my fruit. I haven't had a good apple in 15 years. Not one decent apple in 15 years. I have not. Where you're from, Washington, I know that they are like in people's yards that you can have, and they're just delicious and perfect. I haven't had a good one in 15 years. I really haven't. They're mealy and soft. All right, let's do this lineup.
You claim to find a lineup. I just checked the Padres account, and they didn't tweet it out. So I do not see any lineup on my
Pauley's
feed.
got it.
Location here. Pull up the entire lineup. We've got.
This is weird.
Bogarts leading off at second base. Tatis batting
so
second
regulars in the
right
lineup.
field. Cronenworth batting third, playing first. Machado in the cleanup at DH. Ha-Seong Kim at short. Profar in left. Campusano behind the dish. Eggy Rosario batting eighth, playing third base. And Jackson Merrill batting ninth, playing center field.
All right, so this is now the third straight day where essentially it's been the opening day lineup, but they've substituted Graham Pauley, Tyler Wade, and now Eggy Rosario.
Yeah.
Have all had one chance to start at third. Everybody
Joe
else,
Musgrove scheduled to get the start on
everybody else has pretty much been locked in. They did have Higashioka catching one of the days, so Campy didn't catch 3 in a row. But so essentially, this is the lineup, but they still seem to be maybe uncertain as to who the third baseman is. And they've all gotten one more opportunity here in these last 3 days between Pauley, Wade, and Eggy Rosario as potentially the starting third baseman.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
But everyone else has been in the same spot. It's been Bogarts, Tatis, Cronenworth, Machado, Kim.
I'm shocked. I will say
Merrill in the ninth spot.
I'm absolutely shocked that they're rolling out the A lineup.
My
today.
guess is it's maybe one at bat,
One?
3, 4 innings most, and then put in the backups.
Okay.
Let everyone go home, get their bag, get showered, come back, get on the bus, go to Sky Harbor Airport. You know, I doubt they're playing 9 innings today.
No.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised.
Or maybe they want to tire him out so they'll fall asleep on the plane. That is big. I mean, did you read the piece?
Yeah.
You know, with the director of medical performance, Don Tricker.
Yep.
With the theories of how they're going to keep the Padres from too much jet lag on the flight to South Korea by drinking cherry juice and magnesium
Yep.
and manipulating the lighting and the oxygen levels in the plane,
Right.
so that they sleep early and then they got to keep them awake. And then when they get to Korea, then I think they land at like 3:30. So the plan is get to the
AM.
hotel and
You gotta
sleep
get
for
through-
like 4 or 5 hours, but don't sleep for like 12 hours and get up at 3:30 in the afternoon. Get up like 8 or 9 a.m., go outside, get in the sun, and acclimate your body. And then hopefully by the end of that day, you can get tired again, go to bed at a normal time, like 11 o'clock, and be on Korean time for the rest of the week that you're there. And then it's even harder when you come back. The jet lag actually is worse when you're flying east compared to when you're flying west, so they're going to have to do it all in reverse, get back to San Diego, Seidler Memorial, Fan Fest, 2 exhibition games, and then the opener on Thursday against the San Francisco Giants.
I'm burned out thinking about it. I can't even
without
imagine.
the flight. Just being
without
here,
the
it sounds pretty daunting for us doing a viewing party
Sure.
and doing everything we've got, and we do not have flights to Korea.
And we don't have to face Tyler Glasnow and Yamamoto either. And figure out how to get Shohei Ohtani and the rest of those clowns out. So yeah, and I mean, obviously you want to come back with a dub under your belt. Split of those 2 games would be fantastic. You don't want to come back 0-2. You'd love to come back 2-0. That'd be a much easier flight and Fan Fest to deal with.
All right, one final segment. We will finish the Ben and Woods program, get you ready for Annie and Elston. Set the stage. It actually got some things coming on today locally. Aztecs, I think, tomorrow, all right, against UNLV in the NCAA tournament. The women are tonight.
Got more breaking news.
And more breaking news when we come back.
Padres news.
With Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. That's it. All right, moderate breaking Padres news from Jeff Sanders of the UT, who just tweeted that the Padres aren't making the travel party public until after today's spring training game against the A's. But Graham Pauley's name is on a bus list with players that are definitely going to Korea, he learned last night.
Pretty cool.
Like, we can't tell you if you're going to Korea, but we can tell you you're on a bus with Manny Machado to the airport.
They get there, they're like,
read into that what you
sorry,
will.
sucker.
So I'm on a bus with Toddy and Manny and
What if
Xander.
Schilt is doing a bit where he's like, you just got shilted, partner. Back to the complex you go. And then he does his evil laugh.
You're here to wave us goodbye at the airport.
You got to drive the bus back.
It's a great bit. It's a great bit. Have a couple guys think that they're going, and then you just got shilted, partner.
It's a little
That's
social
amazing.
video content for the Padres. They bring
100%.
32 guys to the airport.
Y'all just
and
got
one of
shilted.
them
Homer
gets
Bush
cut.
Jr. is like, this is awesome.
I can't
last
believe Mom, I'm
second.
going to Korea. No, you got shilted.
You're going to need to get an Uber back to Peoria.
That's all I can think about now. This is pranking these guys. Oh, it's so good. Hey, tough shield. You're not going. Oh, it's so good.
Oh, Michael says update with that. Estrada is going too. I didn't see that, but
I
it wouldn't
didn't either.
surprise me if Jeremiah Estrada certainly made the traveling party. Whether or not he'll be on the 26 man to start the season, that's a guy who has done everything possible.
So good.
This
Under the
spring in
radar a little
Cactus
bit,
League
yeah.
games to make a great case to be part of a bullpen, and I would imagine that's one of the tougher decisions when you're comes down to guys who have options and don't have options, and you don't want to lose Pedro Avila, but you also want to give the best guys who have shown that they are ready the opportunity to pitch in Major League Baseball games. It's a tough call.
Did you see what Jesse's calling his walk and talk? Schiltz Creek. He said season premiere of Schiltz Creek. It's fantastic.
Someone pointed out that Jesse is doing exactly what I was talking about on the show yesterday. The walk to nowhere.
Walk to nowhere.
You're walking and talking to someone. Where are you guys going?
Just around.
Just around in circles. Just because you could just sit in a chair and
that's what I want
opposite of
to
each other and
ask
have
him.
this same conversation. Where are we going in this walk?
Just walking. I was texting with the great Jesse
Get your
Agler last
steps
night.
in?
So I was inspired last night to text Jesse Agler because I'm reading a book called MVP Machine, and came out, I believe, in I can't remember when it came out. It's so good. It's basically how do you player develop? It's the secret of player development and what teams are doing to develop players. And they use a great quote in it from Billy Martin. You can kick a mule in the ass. He's never going to be a racehorse. Like a mule's a mule.
Oh,
but
well, that was the legendary quote by former Padres pitching coach Greg Booker that eventually got him dismissed. He says you can train a donkey to run in the Preakness, but he's not
never going to be a racehorse.
He's never going to win.
Everyone's had their own little iteration of it, but the book is really, really good. MVP Machine, highly recommended. But I was inspired to text Jesse Agler and say, I go, what are you doing on the flight? You know, he wrote me back. He goes, oh, you'll see in the newsletter tomorrow. I'm like, what are we doing, teases now? I got to wait for
He
your
wants
newsletter?
you to subscribe.
I
to
do
the newsletter.
subscribe.
I do too.
But he said he's going to read some books, and I asked him if he'd read it. He said, yeah, it's phenomenal. So check that book out.
Tell
MVP
everybody who
Machine.
got a mention in your book as well that you sent us last night.
Lilo and Fish.
The great Lee Lowenfish.
Maybe our worst interview.
Was mentioned. All right, we've got those tickets to give away to the SD Legion home opener. It's coming up this Saturday against Rugby FC Los Angeles. A pair of tickets at Snapdragon Stadium. Major League Rugby in town. Call 833-288-0973. We'll take the fourth caller today. 833-288-0973. You can grab your own tickets now at sdlegion.com. I feel this is the third season maybe of SD Legion. They've always been near the top playoff team. They got to the championship, I think 1 point away from winning the title last year. So close, 1 or 2 points away in the championship match. So they're back. Home opener this Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium against Rugby FC Los Angeles. You call, Pauley will get those calls in while we take a little check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 97.3 The Fan Traffic Center, here's Kelly Danick.
Pretty impressive wrap-up for our morning drive, guys. They got the stalled car out of the way, southbound 5 before Claremont Drive. It's now over to the right shoulder, and yeah, the freeways are winding down pretty nicely all around. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So,
yeah, tell everybody what you asked us going into break, or after we got off the...
Well, I had a lot of responses to my tweet about John Boy's ridiculous trade proposal. And, I say, no, get his, we got that's terrible value for Cease, drag his butt, Ben. And I also got someone named Beatrix who just responded and said, nudes in bio.
Yeah.
And I've never actually clicked on one of those. I've seen a couple of them in the past. That's
a couple of them. They're on every post now.
I don't get them on every post.
You
get them on every post?
They're everywhere. Nudes in bio, pee in bio. Like, it's everywhere. When did this start?
I don't know.
So I'm getting up to go to the bathroom, and Ben goes, so what would happen if I clicked on this? And I said, I have no idea.
Does a virus download into my computer immediately? It seems sketchy.
Click on it.
I don't think I should.
Just click on one.
Just click on her name?
Yeah.
Just right there.
Just right on that.
See what the bio says.
Hot meat in bio, not M-E-A-T, M-E-E-T. Scroll down.
M-E-E-T.
Yep, hot meat in bio. Scroll down. You're Pauley taking someone's address. Yeah, just some Beatrix showing off her body.
Yeah. She's not. It's not nude actually.
No, it's not nude.
Tasteful actually. They were tasteful pictures in the bio.
Those are everywhere, and they've started to.
What did I?
I don't know. I'm just curious. I just just wanted to see what would happen. My computer still seems to be functioning and running. That's a good sign.
I love that 9:35 for this program now is just Ben's sex fetishes is the new. Yesterday it was the Mile High Club.
We're going to need an open.
Get ready for Ben's sex fetishes, nudes in bio.
Did you like what you saw?
He said it was taste.
I mean, are they AI? Are they real people? Or are they computer generated? I have even no idea what's going on nowadays.
I don't know. And I don't know why they're everywhere now, but they're everywhere. My favorite bit
do know he's going to get about 1 million more.
I mean,
now.
how do they monetize that? What's the purpose? I mean,
exhibitionism is my guess. But they all have the same.
Exactly. It's got to be some sort of bot.
Yeah.
So how are they making money off that? That's what I don't understand.
The one time I want one on my computer, I can't get it, so I can't find one for the first time ever. But they're on almost every post right now. If you just hit show more replies, it'll say nudes in bio, hot meat in bio, pee in bio.
What do we have in our bio? Merch store.
Yeah, a merch store.
In bio.
I don't really understand how it happened, and it just happened like overnight. I started to see a rash of them pop up, and they all had the same weird deal, but very strange. I like that you're curious about it.
I am.
You like to be.
I'm just a naturally curious
Dan
person.
says explicit changed Ben's life forever.
It did.
It really did. Ever since then.
Opened up a lot of...
Michael said it's a scam. You click the link. Well, you've never clicked the link.
There's no link, though, is there?
I mean, maybe if you scroll down far enough, give them your credit card number, and boom, they make money.
Click it again.
I got to go back to the mentions.
Beatrix?
There she is. All right, so is there a...
click her name. Oh, that link.
Oh, this link there?
Yeah, click the link in the bio.
Click that link.
I'm not going to click that link. No chance I'm clicking that link. That's
for content.
Such a square.
That drains your bank account immediately somehow. I'm not dumb enough to click that link. I just don't. Is there anyone who's like dumb enough?
Yeah.
Yes.
To click that link.
A lot of sad, lonely
people out there. You probably told the story of the guy that gave away American secrets because he thought the girl from Ukraine would actually really like
the guy with top level security. Clearance.
What is on your screen? Oh, this. Nuclear submarine codes, if you want those, I'd be happy to share them with you. Yeah, don't click it, Ben. All right, so anyway. Yeah, I think it would probably download a virus right to your work computer.
I feel like
could you imagine walking into your bosses at Channel 10 and being like, I'm so sorry. They're like, oh no. Of all the people here.
We have all these training videos
I know.
teaching us not to do that.
They probably blame
They're
Woods.
like 700 of them.
There's so many videos.
Don't click on it.
They're called phishing videos. Yeah.
Phishing, yeah.
So I'm glad you didn't click it.
Report
but-
the phishing.
I mean, I'm with you. I was a little curious as to why they started popping up everywhere too, but they are here, and it looks like they're here to stay.
Try to get you in any way they can.
X has really turned into something else, man. It really, really has. It is something else.
All right, so on tap today, we got the Padres regular Cactus Season League finale against the A's this afternoon. Tonight, best of luck to Stacey Terry Hudson's SDSU women as they compete for a spot in the NCAA tournament in the Mountain West Championship game against UNLV.
Will they have to win to make?
Oh yeah, they're not.
Okay,
Yeah, they finished. They're the 7th seed.
7th seed. Oh, that's right.
Then again, the Aztecs are the 5th seed, and they're definitely going to the NCAA
That's
tournament,
true.
whether or not they win the NCAAs or not. But it's that's not the case on the women's side. They have to win tonight if they want to get in, probably to keep their season going.
So
at
the
all.
last time they lost by 59 points. What is the spread tonight, I wonder?
That's a good question.
7 at home and 59 on the road. There's quite a disparity.
But UNLV only won by 10, and it was a close game
I thought you
last
said
night.
7.
Last
Oh,
night.
last night,
night in the semifinals. So now that's a different team, obviously. But yeah, it was like 100 to 41 or
That
something.
is something else.
The last time they played UNLV.
Okay.
And they're getting a rematch with an NCAA tournament spot on the line. And then tomorrow morning, not only do we have our 4-hour program from 6 to 10, but we also have our first Padres 97.3 The Fan Roundtable from 10 to 11, brought to you by Roundtable Pizza, where we bring all the hosts in, other than Tony, who's going to be on the plane to Korea, but Sammy's going to take
Chris
his place.
Ello, who I don't think will be here.
He is, because he's in Las Vegas tonight calling the women's game. But we
So
got Sammy.
you,
Me,
Sammy.
you, maybe Paul, Sammy. Well, it's just basically our show.
So just,
Annie,
just an
Elston,
extra hour of Ben and Woods.
Annie and Elston as well. And we will kind of discuss things as a group. Sometimes it's better. Group discussion is productive, therapeutic at times.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, and there's a few things in this world that you're supreme at. Supreme. Moderating is one of them.
Moderating a panel.
I have never been more impressed with you. Like, I could watch you get a hole in one, and I'd be less impressed.
Thank you.
Then
You would have enjoyed me at the Barrio luncheon as well.
Oh,
as
your
I was
moderating at
that
fantasy
panel.
camp was like, I was so proud of you. It was elite moderating.
Were you also on one of those Tim Flannery cookies during that, or was that where you stone cold sober for that one?
No,
don't
I was sober
remember.
for that one.
You were sober for that
I
one.
was
Okay.
not for the music.
That was the
portion.
music, but not the moderating portion.
Your moderation was fantastic. Tomorrow, I look forward to it. I did hear on the way out yesterday, in passing, I was walking ahead. I heard Adam suggest that he has some ideas for Ben that he would like to send over. Maybe just some interesting topics. And I heard Ben dismiss him and say, were you insulted when he asked?
I'm above that.
Like
I wasn't
hey,
insulted.
Didn't you say, I'm good, Skippy. I don't need your help? I think that was exactly what you said.
I think I was more concerned because I'm always willing to take suggestions. I just don't want someone to be offended if I don't use their suggestions. So I just warned him, please send them to me. I may use them, I may not.
Why'd you call him Skippy then?
I didn't call him Skippy. It was not part of the discussion. There was no Skippy in the discussion. But yeah, I wanted
Adam said he patted me on the head. I saw that too. I did. I got it, pal. Don't worry
want
about
him
it.
to think that I'm simply going to take his list and just go item by item down Adam's lists of topics. I like
Then
to
you shoved him into a locker.
Yeah, exactly. So Sammy,
I like when a conversation is free flowing and like when it has an arc.
Like it's 9:52 right now. I'm so exhausted. Then I know that 24 hours from now, I'm going to be sitting here going, cool, I have another hour to talk about what we just talked about for 4 hours. And nothing's
The good
happened.
news, though, it's commercial free.
It's commercial free. Also, what's happened since then? Each regular got NAB, then they went to PAC, and they got on a plane.
Yeah, but we haven't really talked about these things with Craig and Annie, and that'll be different for us.
That's
to
true.
have always having a different voice kind of takes a conversation in a different direction. Okay. And that's the point of the round table.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting.
Of course you do.
Illuminating.
Do you feel...
Please bring a good attitude.
I'm finding it difficult.
Please.
I'm going to be honest with
try
you.
to bring
I'm
a good
finding
attitude.
it difficult. It's up to you, though. You have to ask the right questions. You have to make me engaged. Because I'm tired.
I know.
I'm tired.
I'll be tired, too.
Yeah, you'll be very tired. But you're moderating.
Pauley will be leaving.
I'm out of here. Have fun.
Do you want to?
No.
Roundtable Pizza will be there, but that doesn't help necessarily Woods, who's on the sdfatloss.com program at the moment.
Am I?
I think you deserve a piece of pizza for the roundtable. Just to get you through it, right?
You don't need it, man. Don't do it.
Oh, I'm doing it. How do I get roped into all this stuff? And Adam asked.
You actually said yes. I was kind of counting on Woods to just put
pitch a fit.
To pitch a fit, so I wouldn't have to. Like, I can count on Woods.
He's going
completely pitch a fit, and I don't have to say anything at all. I can look like the good guy. No, I'm happy to do it, Adam.
I would have,
look at this guy over here, and Woods just goes, "Fine, we'll do it." And I'm going, "What? You let me down. You're my pitch a fit guy, so I don't have to be." Andy and Elster are coming up next. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning for 5 hours here on The Fan.